All right, guys, welcome back to Above Ground World News, reporting from FEMA Region 7. And it's getting hot, just like we thought, man. It's going to be like we're on the sun side of Mars here over the next few days here in Missouri. And anyway, we got a bunch of articles to get in before we jump into the weather and all the crazy, horrible news out there. But you always find these tests on us, you know, later down the road, like this right here. This just come out today. House orders Pentagon to say if it weaponized ticks and release them. This order requires the agency to say if it exterminated with insects for use as a biological weapon between the 1950s and 1975. Awareness has grown since the disease carried by deer ticks, and especially prevalent on Cape Cod and islands, was first discovered in the late 1970s. More and more patients are being correctly diagnosed and treated with antibiotics to kill the bacteria. You know, this reminds me of these same tests, the lithium test. How about the radiation that was being sprayed out of station wagons and off the corners of buildings in St. Louis? I can't remember what that project was, but it was a horrible test on the humans, on us. And they do all, you know, we find out about these experiments that have been done on us, you know, via the bugs, via the sky, via whatever they want to use. And by that time, you know, it's too late. So the House quietly voted last week to require the Pentagon Inspector General to tell Congress whether the department experimented with weaponizing disease-carrying insects and whether they were released into the public realm, either accidentally or on purpose. Well, we always know it's on purpose. Just like the Zika, just like the mosquitoes, you know, they got, you know, engineered mosquitoes, engineered bees. They're trying to play God, and it's going to backfire just like it always does. We got other news to get into here. Humans, let me close that out. Humans may be accidentally geoengineering the oceans. This come out today. Iron particles released by industrial activities are falling into the seas in greater quantities than previously thought. Are they not looking at the ship tracks and the bunker fuel too? All the nanoparticulates out here, all the nanobots. As the saying goes, what goes up must come down. As it turns out, a lot of what goes up comes down into the world's oceans. No kidding. Yeah, just like the fluoridating and all that stuff. Iron particles released by human industrial activities are one example of a pollutant that goes into the atmosphere and eventually settles into the sea. How about in our lungs? How about in our brains? The consequences are still unclear, but they're worth investigating, scientists says. Don't you think it's a little freaking late for that? Don't you think we're like way beyond that? And then you get down here later in the article, scientists have been exploring the possible effects of iron fertilization as a form of geoengineering for the last 15 years. In that time, various research groups have conducted at least 13 experiments in both natural and controlled environments, according to the 26th review paper. Scientists are still debating on how useful the process could be for climate mitigation. There's that word again. Instead of climate control or weather control, they call it climate mitigation. But I got all these links will be in there. I'm not going to read these whole articles. And here was the scientific paper on the ocean iron fertilization experiments, past, present, and future, looking to Korean ion fertilization experiment in the Southern Ocean project. See what this picture looks like here. Hey, thanks out there, Brenda. Much love out there. Oh, I wanted to zoom in on that. So let's take a look at this. If I could zoom in on it so you guys could see it too. All right, so you got the satellites up here beaming down. The ionospheric ion input. You got the icebergs, the CDT, sub-bottom profiler, biological pump, hydrothermal vents. You know, they always, try to mimic. Why do they need to change the climate? Why do they just leave it alone? It's because they're terraforming the planet. They're not making the planet suitable for us. They're making the planet suitable for the fallen ones. They're not doing anything to help us. And we're going to see more and more with the weather control, more and more of this drastic climate change action. And they're getting where they can't be radical enough. It just blows my mind that they are pushing this climate change and they don't factor any of these tests. They don't factor in any of the weather programs, any of the weather control. So that tells you right there that they're just trying to deceive the people. If they were doing real scientific studies, they'd have to factor in the volcanoes. They'd have to factor in the chemtrails. They'd have to factor in the bunker fuel operations. They'd have to factor in the cloud ionizers, the ionospheric heaters, all the NEXRADs, all the 5G. They have to factor all that stuff in, but they won't. More scientists now think geoengineering may be essential. I call BS. How about if they halt every bit of the geoengineering? But it's not going to. They're going to keep it up. They're going to keep it up until everybody is packed into the smart city. Everybody is totally unfree, which we're almost there. Look at this right here. Let's see. In 15 years' time, impacts of warming worsen. Planes loaded with sulfate particles start taking off from airfields around the world. They fly 65,000 feet, well above existing airlines, and spray their loads onto the stratosphere. 4,000 flights in the first year, 8,000 in the second, 12,000 in the third, and so on. After another 15 years, fleets of purpose-built high-altitude tankers are making 60,000 flights annually. The thickening shroud of particles would fight climate change, mimicking the output of volcanic eruption. What about all the volcanic eruptions that are already going on? What the hell are these people trying to do? They're not trying to save the planet at all. Yeah. It's crazy. So over here, they won't load this page now. But what it was, this was an article on Japan. They abandoned the development of the 5G networks over health of the citizens. But look, they hid the article. Now we can't get it. They took it away. So I can't report on it. I didn't screen capture it in time. So, that sucks. 2 million in Zimbabwe's capital have no water as city turns off the taps. The situation is bad, period, says spokesman. Suburbs go weeks without water and cases of typhoid are being reported. So more than 2 million residents around Zimbabwe have no water, no running water. The drought pushed the system into collapse. So 50% of the 4.5 million people in 4 satellite towns currently have access to the municipal water supply. There is a rotational water supply within 5 towns. We're seeing this in other places too. I mean, there's tons of places that they're cutting the water off. You know, when you flood out one side of the planet, you're droughting out the other because they're affecting the whole ecosystem. And I say that all the time. When you're making it rain on one side, you're making it dry on the other. It's like, I'm not even sure how to explain it, but it's all interconnected. So, yeah, pray for them people. But guess what, though? This is where it gets crazy, because the Ugandan officials welcome climate research to manage the drought and flooding. So this goes into the companies that are engineering the weather. This goes into the global climate control company, the weather modification companies. This is where they steer the atmospheric rivers, like the Miles Research Company. And they're going to force it to rain here. So, yeah, so they're going to push this part to give these other companies a chance to come in and ionize the clouds and use the ionospheric heating and all the other weather modification programs. Check this out in Hawaii. They violated the Clean Water Act.
He is guilty of violating a federal Clean Water Act.
That is a ruling that came down from a federal judge over of Kauai. Sam Spangler joins us now with details. Sam. Well, Dash.
We don't need the details. We know what it is. They sprayed the glyphosate and the pesticides and ruined the water aquifers. You know, the Clean Water Act wasn't to help clean water. It's more about dumping toxic crap near cities and towns, fracking water, you know, all the bad stuff to ruin the water aquifers. It seems like they want to ruin every body of water on the planet so that you have to pay for the water. Just like that global trading here. Let's go, see if I can bring that up. We'll bring this up. These guys over at the United Arab Emirates, they want to hijack the sky. This company right here, Global Control Trading Company. These guys want to steal all the water in the sky, the rivers of the sky. And then they want to sell it to you by the barrel, by cryptocurrency called the climate Quran. See right here, they do seawater desalination technology, 1 cubic meter, $50. Cloud seeding technology, 1 cubic meter, $10. Now their technology that only uses natural climatic processes. 0.55 cents per 1 cubic meter of fresh water of natural origin. This is the company that just did the flood test over at Iran, where they flooded out 90% of Iran just within a month's time. So these guys are out of Abu Dhabi, and there's more. This is just one of the companies. Here, I'll post a link into the chat for if you guys want to check this company out, see what they like to do. And when you look at some of their stuff, man, they show the roads washing away from the floods, and they're all just smiling and like, man, we got this. We control the weather. We're going to turn the deserts green. So yeah, man, it just blows my mind that people don't think this is going on when you have hundreds of companies out here that are doing this all across the planet, but they try to keep it hid from us. And it takes people like us to show that here it is, success of the work in Iran. We documented this whole story. There was another company called the electromagnetic. I'm trying to click this here, see if I can get over. The weathergenerators.net. Here, we'll bring them up. This will blow your mind. They have a YouTube channel. I follow their YouTube channel. They document their weather engineering programs using their antennas. Here they are. Middle East since 1995, the Weather Generator Project. We don't create clouds, we enhance them. See, all these companies that are controlling the rivers of the sky, they use electromagnetics. They mock the chemtrails. They don't need them. They just steer these systems. They bust off a hunk of a high pressure, turn it into a low pressure system, and then they bring it on. The Dubai weather generator is on. Daily updates. You can get daily updates on the weather generator. Weather generator has brought rain and clouds to Dubai. They offer, dust mitigation and tornado mitigation, all kinds of stuff. Look at their saying here. The hour will not begin until the land of the Arabs once again becomes meadows and rivers. They all pray to the Allah, man. Yeah, rain enhancements, air pollution dissipation, smog eradication, shield dust and sandstorms, reduce humidity. Where do you think all these sandstorms have been coming from? They sent them away from them and then over to us. It's definitely a weather war going on. And, eventually they're going to they want to get in globally. Climate disasters have cost more than $650 billion in the last 3 years. See, they want to get in on some of that. That's what they want to do. Hey, we love you all out there. So anyway, guys, man, this stuff is going on regardless of what anybody says. It's all out here. We just have to search for it. We just have to read into it and dig the truth out. So Hawaii poisoning the beautiful lands, the beautiful islands. Check this out. A woman sues NASA over moon samples from the Apollo 11 mission. This comes out of Kansas City. A Illinois woman has filed a lawsuit in federal court in Kansas City claiming NASA stole some of her moon rock samples from the Apollo 11 moonwalk mission. They bought a bag full of moon samples, and NASA come and took them back. They wanted to borrow them. I mean, what is this about? So she lent NASA the rocks back in 2015. I mean, what is going on here? We give these people all this money. They sell the fake rocks, then they take them back. But anyway, she sued him for $1.8 million and beat him the first time. She bought the moon rocks for $995. Well, she sued him and got $1.8 million back. But then now she's suing him again because the bag was messed up and they're missing some rocks. What the hell? Oh man, stupid. Okay, so check this out. Over in Hong Kong, this is going to be going on worldwide. I mean, they got this massive protest going on in Hong Kong, and it's over that extradition, but the people are actually winning right now. I mean, who knows what's going to happen over here. I really haven't read this yet, so I probably won't get into this. I got the links down in the description. Yeah, I'll sell some rocks, man. My whole yard is rocks. We could call them moon rock. We'll call them space rocks. Now, there's all kinds of crap exploding, man, all across the place, everywhere. We got planes dropping out of the sky, hitting turbulence that shouldn't be there. It's because they're affecting the jet stream winds, the polar vortex winds. But there's a lot of electromagnetic going on. A lot of, all this machinery and equipment they use to affect the weather is affecting everything. It's affecting our health. It's affecting the birds, Birds are dropping out of the sky left and right. Bees are dying. Explosions are going on everywhere. This was just one in California. I wasn't going to really get into all this stuff here. The quake to make Los Angeles a radioactive dead zone. Yeah, we'll get into that later. And, you know, they're starting to come out about the floods. You know, I'm taking a trip to Omaha tomorrow. I'm going to see if it's still flooded. I'm going to see if hours and hours of towns are still deserted. But look at these two pictures right here. One is from March 8th, 2019, and then 7/2/2019. Same thing. It's still flooded. Everything is still underwater. And this is just tons of states, man. It's in one state. This is like 14 states. Nothing on the mainstream. You might get an article like this here and there. That's about it. Here's one coming out. Here's one more little article out of Nebraska. Winslow, Nebraska, on path to uncertain future. When the floods arrived in March, they're still flooded. Nebraska was faced with the uphill fight, and things haven't got much easier. Nearly every home in the village north of Fremont took water on. I had the full story. Where's the full story? Oh, here it is. So right now, the FEMA and all them are telling the people to move the village to higher ground, rebuild it where it stands, or accept the buyout and move on. That's what they want. They want the land. This is a land grab, just like the fires. Same thing, but they're using water, they're using fire to take your land. Hell, they even use tornadoes. They definitely are taking the land. So we're getting weird crashing waves, birds flying off target. You know, it's all the electromagnetics that are getting freaked out. And we know why. Probably not going to get in. That's an older article. The drought. Yeah, that's from... You know, we even engineered the droughts back in the day, the big dust bowl. That's because they cut all the trees down, man. And it created a massive drought. That was a man-made problem. Out in Germany, 17 tons of cocoa burns on the Germany highway. I can't remember why I wanted to look at this, but I think it was just because there's more explosions that have been going on. Check this out. You guys want to know, where does all the lithium come from? Where does all the alumini and all that stuff? Well, it comes from overseas, but check this out. Residents near... This is coming out of Australia. Lithium refinery fears jobs are going to city workers. You know, they sprayed lithium from the planes. Well, an American company building Western Australia's biggest lithium refinery has received pushback from locals in South Wales. See, they're talking about this, you know, as a job thing. It's expected to produce 100,000 tons of lithium hydroxide each year. The byproduct of this that could easily be put into the aircraft trails. You know, you can only make so many batteries. I haven't been on the email. I didn't get to go by the PO or anything today, guys. So yeah, I had a horrible day at work. But yeah, when I look at this article, I'm thinking lithium, huh? 100,000 tons a year. How many batteries could they make with that versus what are they putting out in the sky? Well, let's take a look here. We're looking out here in the Pacific. We have a huge shipping operation, and hopefully you guys can see that. These are the ships. We change this to the Cirrus level, and then you're going to see the planes. So you're going to see the planes on this one. I can highlight this one and make it stand out a little better. But you can see the drifting, but then you see the long lines out here. That's the aerosols by the planes. We go to the visible red. You can see the ships laying the bunker fuel, the most toxic emissions on the planet right there. I don't know if this will look any better if I highlight this in different colors. Or here, let's just go right over here. Check this out. We're on the world view map. All these squiggly lines that kind of start in a point and then drift out, that is the ships. All these grid patterns out here, that's from the ships. I mean, have you ever seen pictures of bunker fuel, the black nasty crap coming out of the ships? Well, they're seeding the sky. They're turning the sky white. And then they're hitting it with a bunch of electromagnetics. That's why these clouds are all freaky looking. They're not like normal clouds because they're being ionized. What they've done, they've turned the whole ionosphere into a plasma antenna. They put these particles up in the sky and they toast it. They're toasting the sky. And then we breathe all this crap and we get the lung infections and sick and Alzheimer's. And it's never ending. They're not going to stop the spraying. We got fires going on all over up in Canada. I mean, look at these fires. I mean, these are huge areas being burned out. Alaska's on fire. I think I've seen some fires up here in Oregon, Washington. Maybe that was yesterday. Aerosols being deployed in Nevada. They're everywhere. All along the East Coast. Hey, let's take a look over here. RFB's still out there. We know you're getting hit. We can see him out here off the coast. They sprayed out ahead of this. Look at this up here in Maine. Look at Maine and New Brunswick, man. They're getting waxed. This is a bombardment. This is not water vapor. This is cloud seeding 101. So Maine, Quebec, New Brunswick, going all the way up into Quebec. Up here in Churchill Falls, bombarded. In fact, it goes all the way up. They're bombarding the Davis Strait. Hell, they're spraying all the way up. So we got aerosols being deployed all over Canada, the whole state, the whole place. And then you got to wonder when you see some of these heavy aerosols, what's going on over here? Look at this stuff. None of this is natural. These clouds even look evil. You can see the big old thick liners going on here, and yeah, they're definitely going to buffer us now. Let me stop that to see if this helps. You know, when I'm showing the evidence, they like to buffer the stream. Now it's saying no active data. What the heck? Well, I'm trying to see if the stream will catch up because I can see it's dropping frames. I don't want the video and the audio to be all freaked out like they always do to us. Yeah, hopefully the stream will catch back up. Right at 10 o'clock, isn't that weird? Right at 9 o'clock, right at 10 o'clock. They always hit us. It's like a schedule. Hey, let's go buffer the Weather Warfare channel. Let's go buffer them. Let's try to make it hard to watch. Let's put like 5,000 ads on it so people just turn it off. It's ridiculous. That's why you guys need to make sure you're subscribed to the DLIVE and the Twitch, because eventually they're not going to let us do this on here. And that's why we're trying to grow them channels just in case. But yeah, man, this is just freaky looking up here. So I'm hoping the stream catches back up, because this is something you got to see, man. These are definitely not healing chemtrails. These are like fire starting, fire accelerants, weather control, weather modification. Look, and this is all over Minnesota, Iowa. Kansas City got hammered today. Oklahoma. Look at that big fat liner going right down the highway. I know the dog's barking. Sorry about that. There's a raccoon. She got in a fight with a raccoon out there a little bit ago. Look at this big liner. We'll let that load. Make sure that's not a... Hopefully the stream will come back, man. It's really looking like crap. It's not dropping too many frames, but it's just, it's showing the output's really low. All right, let's go on down here. I'm going to show you some other crazy spots here. Check this out down in Argentina, Paraguay. Look at this spraying operation. What is this? These aren't even real looking clouds. I mean, you got drifting out chemtrails. I mean, this is just weird looking. So you got a mega spraying operation right over here. Look, and I mean, that's so targeted. You also have a few ships out here. Same thing over in Australia. Australia is getting pounded. Look at France. I can see them from here. France has nothing but fake synthetic clouds. Mass geoengineering program. Look, they were doing the short segmented sprays. Just click the layers here, trying to get a good pickup of it. Yeah, look at this. Super aerosols being deployed. All over the Netherlands. It's going to be hitting you at night. Look at that fat line right there. So you got, you know, spraying going on all over the North Sea, in between Norway, in between the UK. It's going on worldwide. You know what? Look at it over here above Portugal. Look at this spraying. Look at these grids. These are grids. And what happened, to kind of give you an idea what has to happen eventually if you want it stopped. You know, Portugal down here, they were getting cloud seeded like crazy, man, through the winter. I mean, big time. And something happened to their NEXRADs. Their NEXRAD radars went down, and guess what happened? Not one cloud seeding operation. The planes couldn't take off. They couldn't fly, so they couldn't do weather engineering program. It stayed sunny here for weeks until they got the radars fixed. Look at it now. They're back to spraying. It's all back online. Skynet's back online. You got mega spraying. They're not going to stop spraying chemtrails, and they're damn sure not going to be spraying good chemtrails. There's no such thing. We got a big dust storm over here by Egypt. Look at that dust getting ready to fly out there. There's some PM 2.5s, heavy particulates. It actually come from a little more from Libya, and it's drifting over Egypt. You know who don't get chemtrails? Right here. They don't get 5G. They don't get chemtrails. They probably don't have ticks. Another dust storm down here. This is where all the other, right over here is where the other big weather modification companies are. Tons of fires going on up in Russia. I mean, you can see they're burning up all up in here. Tons of weather modification goes on over here. I mean, they flood these people out like clockwork. Australia, we got fires going on in the north again. And you got aerosols being deployed in the north. What is this, some kind of rogue? Is this a UFO? No, it's a big old fat liner out here in the middle of the ocean. They were doing segmented sprays. You find that a lot where you see the fires, they're spraying the accelerants on it. Look at this. This is a huge fat trail. That's not fire smoke. Now they've been dropping the bunker fuel out here for a couple days. I don't know if they're out here today. I'm looking here. I don't really see them out here today. I see a few aerosols being deployed, but and you got down here New Zealand, what's going on down here? They got the gun buyback thing going down here, trying to take everybody's guns. Don't give up the guns. You give up the guns, you're done for. Trump's not going to do a damn thing. He don't. People, you got to understand. They're going to their satanic books. Trump's not going to help us. He's going to push the 5G on us. There's nobody. Every single politician on the planet is corrupt. Not one of them is here to help. They're all here to push the agendas. They're not stopping the bunker fuel out here. It's being deployed all over. They're not stopping the chemtrails. And there's no such thing as healthy chemtrails. There's no such thing as healing frequencies through the 5G. It's all a lie, man. Everything's a lie. That's what makes this so hard to swallow. Because everything you think you know, it's not what's going on until you start digging. Then you're like, man. Just like when I first started learning about this weather warfare going on. And then the more I dug, I'm like, holy crap. We don't have natural weather. We haven't had natural weather for a long time. It's hard to believe they were doing electric rain making in 1903. Some of the first cloud seeding was done in the 1890s with balloons and shooting explosives up into the sky. You know, just like they steer the rivers on the ground by building the dams and the levees, they've been doing the same thing with the sky, but see, they won't tell you that. Just like they keep the hidden history hidden. You know, we're the peasants of the earth. But the thing is, you can either not do nothing and let them get away with it, or you can get off your couch, get off your phone, and start raising hell about it. Because otherwise, they're going to keep on getting away with the human testing. They're going to keep on getting away with ruining the air we breathe, ruining every single water aquifer on the planet, every single ocean, until the only thing left is the transhumans, the half robots, the half people. That's what their goal is. You know, they're going to upload their brains into some AI, some supercomputer. Why we're all gone. They just need us for a short time to get the technology going. I mean, they already got it. Once they're done with us, we're expendable. But you can't fear this stuff. You got to fight back, man. That's why we do what we do. Anyway, guys, we're going to call this a show. I want to thank everybody out there that helps us, helps shares this information out. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. Look at it. Look at them. They were really showing up right there. There's the ship tracks in the white lines. That's bunker fuel. That's the most toxic emissions on the planet being deployed. This is just one area down here in the Bajas. We were looking up over here off the coast of California. Why are you not seeing chemtrails in California right now? Because it's all being manufactured by these ships. So you can't even see the bunker fuel being deployed in these clouds, but you can right here until you start looking. You got to dig, and here they are. So here's a mass operation. Anyway, guys, much love. We're going to play a song called Rise, because we're all going to have to rise soon. Or you're going to have to shelter in place. Screw that. I'm not going to shelter in place. I'm not going to stay quiet. I'm going to keep on talking. Hey, thanks out there. Super chat. Much love out there. Definitely helps. Keeps this operation going. Then we'll play the fighting song, and then we'll play the victory song. I'll come join you in chat for a minute. I'll go to the DLIVE, join you guys in chat, and I'll give away the treasure chest. So much love, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night, God willing. Here we go. Crank it up.
Hey, did you know that weather radar can show things other than storms, like here in this example? And this is actually something you'll see.
Welcome back, everyone. Absolutely gorgeous sunrise colors are coming in this morning.
Gorgeous sunrise? What planet are we looking at? What happened to the blue sky? All right, so let me translate what filtered, cloud filters, sun. We're looking at them. These are chemtrails. These are not contrails. These are not water vapor. These are particulates coming out of the jet exhaust, coming out of these sprayers, coming out of the drones. They also come out of the ships.
Slowdown of your warm-up because of the clouds. Clouds will keep us close to 90 at lunch, and then afternoon sunshine combined with the wind is going to push our numbers up 95 to 97 degrees. In addition to that.
Do you see it? Did you see the freaky sky picture with the chemtrails? This is using predictive programming. They're trying to program you that even though it looks like Venus or Mars, that it is normal. Let me tell you, it is not normal. They are trying to program your mind. They're going all the way as far as hiding a normal sunrise. I typed in sunrise in the Google. I'm on images. I scrolled for pages and pages and pages, and I cannot find a normal sky picture of the sun rising. All I see is chemtrails and heavy metal particulates in the sky. They're trying to normalize the aerosols. Nobody's going to know what a normal sunrise is supposed to look like. They're changing the planet. They're terraforming the planet, ladies and gentlemen.
We're going to have the heat index become a big issue, just like we saw yesterday.
So we're heating the atmosphere, percolating storms. Here we go, about 4 o'clock this afternoon, essentially from western North Carolina across northern Georgia, Alabama, southern parts of Tennessee. We will see these storms. And look at this, almost a solid line now develops east of Columbia, probably some type of interaction between the sea breeze and that propagating wave that's pretty much moved all the way down from the upper plains. And then by the time we roll into midnight, remember, we lost the sun. Right? We've lost our driver and we don't have the disturbance anymore. And it only, of course, gets hotter as we work our way through this weekend. So we'll take whatever we can get.
It's as if you're sitting on the moon and you have your, iPhone or your smartphone and you're taking video or pictures. So you need the daylight sun. You can only see this in the daylight sun, opposed to the infrared, which are temperature seeking. At the last frame, look right around here. You'll see some thunderstorms. They're starting to explode right there. You see that turbulent right there? That's an explosive thunderstorm. Those are big thunderstorms. As we pause it, thanks for pausing it. You know, that's an explosive thunderstorms, opposed to just kind of a shield of a cloud. So we could see more of that explosion as we head later today. Yesterday, but I'll tell you, these little suckers right here, those will get you. Those will bring some good winds, some very heavy rain as well, and it's all going to be blowing through. Even down as we look towards Richmond and West Virginia, you won't be able to get out of it either. Lots of moisture, loads of moisture. Anywhere you see the orange, red, we're on the high end of our scale here. That does last. But you can see a little bit of drier air is coming in behind it. Though with some of the heavier downpours, we can have flooding. Two biggest killers when it comes to weather. Heat, no joke, is number one. We'll show you that later. Flooding is number two. So we have both of those here in the Northeast.
So we're heating the atmosphere, percolating storms. Here we go.
This is a brief history of B&H. In 1973, Bellini and Herman opened up a small photography shop with a simple philosophy.
Treat people right and they will come back.
Over the next 45 years, we grew and added over 400,000 products and over 1,000 experts. We are B&H.
This guy looks like he's done a lot of manscaping in his life. That's because he saved 20% off all Manscaped products and got free accelerated shipping. Introducing the Manscaped 20% off site-wide summer flash sale. So if you got the urge to splurge, now is your chance to join the Manscaped movement. Save on all your favorite products for your butt, balls, and body, even your banana grundle. Go to manscaped.com and receive 20% off for a limited time. Manscaped, we save balls.
All right, guys, welcome in. Hopefully everything is working. Anyway, much love out there. Couldn't make it yesterday. Everybody, we're all got the chemtrail flu, the chemtrail cough, the chemtrail lung. Yeah, had to miss some work. Didn't get to take the trip up to Omaha this week, but maybe next week I'll go up there. Look at Christ Church. They're getting bombarded just like everybody else. And no, it's not a healing chemtrail, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump into some headlines. Oh, before I jump into the headlines, much love, big thanks out there to Jessica and Rhonda Long. They sent me some awesome art they did and a really good poem. Not going to read it tonight, but much love. That was kick-ass gift there. So let's jump into a few articles and get this party started. Clone tick that can reproduce on its own has drained blood from livestock and threatened humans. We just reported a couple nights ago how they bioengineered Lyme disease and passed it out there. It looks like they're still using biowarfare in different ways. So the clone tick, this thing is really crazy, man. So it seems like a plague of biblical proportions. Swarms of an invasive new bloodthirsty tick has already killed multiple cows in North Carolina and already has the taste for human blood. Man, these mainstream, they love reporting on this shit. The Asian longhorn ticks, otherwise known as clone ticks, are particularly worrisome because they have the ability to reproduce without a mate, and unfortunately, that's not the worst part of them. A fully fed female can spawn as many as 2,000 offspring, spreading various disease to humans such as Passosawin virus, fever, vomiting, seizures. So some more bioengineered bugs, man. They're going everywhere. Brought to you by your favorite alphabet gangs. New study comes out. Smartphones, tablets causing mental health issues in kids as young as 2. Children as young as 2 are developing mental health problems because of these smartphones and tablets, scientists warn. Just an hour a day staring at a screen can be enough to make children more likely to be anxious or depressed. This could be making them less curious, less able to finish tasks, less emotionally stable, and lowering their self-control. That's what they want. They want to be able to control every person on the planet. Where's the best place to start is when they're kids. That's why they're feeding all these kids all these smartphones and tablets. Look, they're in the back of every seat. They're in the cars. They're in the front seat. They're in the back seat. They're the black mirror. They're the scribe mirror. Research shows zombie children spend nearly 5 hours every day gawping at electronic devices. Did you know the Department of Homeland Security did an actual zombie, like a practice run for real zombies? I mean, they spent millions of dollars on this. Oh man, this news just keeps worse and worse every day. Oh yeah, I gotta have the Simpsons predictive programming in there too. Well, it only gets worse from there. Nuclear waste is leaking into the sea on the tropical islands between Australia and Hawaii, where radiation is 1,000 times higher than both Chernobyl and Fukushima. The Marshall Islands were hit with 67 nuclear bombs between 1946 and 1958. The high levels of radiation has caused cancers, diabetes among locals. 50,000 people still live there, and nuclear waste is still leaking into the ocean. You know, the Bible tells you, they're going to kill 1/3 of the ocean. They've already done it. So the group of the islands between Australia and Hawaii have been found to contain deadly levels of radiation 1,000 times higher than toxic sites stricken by nuclear power stations at Chernobyl and Fukushima. The Pacific Ocean were once an idyllic tropical paradise before they were hit with more than 60 nuclear bombs during testing. Locals were forced to flee their homes, and after they were hit with bombs and decades of nuclear waste is now flowing into the water. An HBO documentary, Chernobyl, gripped fans with harrowing scenes and the grotesque effects of radiation poisoning. You know, in that movie, the documentary Chernobyl, they didn't tell you the truth of what caused that. The Russian woodpecker, the Hart facility over in Russia is called the Russian woodpecker. That's what caused the Chernobyl disaster. Definitely. And we got the proof of that too. So anyway, man, more, earth damaging news. How about some more? America, Fukushima, California's nuclear power plants built in close proximity to the San Andreas Fault, setting up catastrophic event for the West Coast. Yeah, we've seen these are leaking too, man. You got people out there swimming right next to these damn things. Even non-active nuclear power facilities are vulnerable to earthquakes. Of course they are. Why'd they put these there? It's unbelievable. I'm not going to read all that. I just want to kind of doing the headlines here. Check this out. The Club of Rome Climate Emergency Plan. This don't sound good. Climate change is the most pressing global challenge, constituting an external threat to humanity. Oh, exponential. Sorry about that. The Club of Rome Emergency Plan set 10 priority actions for all sectors, governments, and in this urgent wake-up call. Here we go with the Agenda 2030, Agenda 2050. They're going to keep talking about these 2 centimeters of warming compared to the 1.5 global is lagging. Al Gore was wrong. It's not heating as fast as they thought, but it's a global emergency. To avoid the future collapse, political and socio-economic systems, urgent leadership is required from the governments. Climate change is no longer a future threat. It's already affecting billions. No, it's not. It's the climate control people. Fossil fuel is not going to start or stop the climate change. One volcano is way worse than all the cars put together on the planet. How many volcanoes have we had blast 50, 60,000 feet this year? Just an unbelievable amount. The earth will heal itself. Climate change, climate change is actually climate control. They have their hands on the thermostat. And we go over every day. They're changing the climate. We've had NASA admit to changing the climate. In fact, I might have to play this other clip I got of that. And we might do that here in a minute. The World Health Organization declares Ebola outbreak in Congo an international health emergency. Just another engineered event via the alphabet agencies, the NWOs, and the ABC gangs. And it looks like our forecasts for the heat waves, even in Europe, are right. Everybody is getting cranked up. Yeah, I'm going to continue with my ad blocker. I guess we don't get to look at the lying weather channel. Too bad for them. They don't need no... Everybody should turn them off anyway. So they got more facial apps stealing your information, giving up your personal data by this Russian-made app. This app can make you look older than what you are, but it steals all your information. You know, you're going into a big quantum computer, so they can know what your plan's going to be when it all comes down and you start fighting back. The National Farmers Federation welcomes $2 million initiative to ensure farmers against drought. Drought? What the hell you mean drought? We just had thousands. Oh, this is down in Australia. Well, hey, what about the farmers here in America? The farmers that I can't find. The missing farmers. We have 14 states of missing farmers. I've called out tons of times for anybody, a relative, anybody, email me and let me know what FEMA's doing for you. Let us know where you're at. Where are you staying? I still have not got one email at all. I've got one letter from a FEMA agent. So where are all the people? We're still flooded here in Missouri. There's still roads completely underwater. Some parts are dried up. That's why I was hoping to go up to Omaha yesterday, but I couldn't do it. But still, no word on the farmers. I don't know where they are. The mainstream media does not talk about them. They don't, nobody's helping them. No Hollywood, no country music singers are having fundraisers. Nah, it's all about the bullcrap political scene. You got the nutso bags on one side, the nuts on the other side. I mean, it's just crazy, man, what's going on. Chemtrail cough is sweeping the nation again. Death by respiratory system has skyrocketed. This is an old article, but it's still going on today. That's what I have. That's what my wife has. Mixture of the chemtrails and the Saharan dust just pretty much wiped us out. Here's a good video that I keep forgetting to pull some clips out of this. This is at David Miles on steering these sky rivers, weather modification, and the military implications. This was a good video that when Jim Lee did an interview with him and got a little bit of information out of him. And hopefully we're going to get him on here in a week or two and see what kind of stuff we can get out of him. I want to find out if he is willing to go against the governments. Oh, I was checking out this flight tracker thing, and it was running. I don't know why it's not running now, but yeah, there's tons of these different flight tracking maps that you can find and watch, and you can see even the weather modification planes on here. So let's see if we can click on it, see what it looks like. I forgot to save all these links. Dang it. I'll get these links in sometime tomorrow. If I get time tonight, I will. Yeah, man, they're trapping all these particulates in and making us all sick. I wonder if I could bring in this like I've played this NASA video before. Like I played clips out of it, and there's some parts that I haven't played that I might bring in here. Let's see if I can bring this in here. Hey, thanks out there, Galactic. Much love out there. Let's see if I can bring this clip in here. Now's a good time. I don't have any of the maps up yet. I was trying to keep the stream solid if I could, but so I'm going to try to bring this in. That way I can skip forward and stuff. Let's see if I got it. It's not showing up yet. It should be on top. All right, this is why ain't it working?
So
oh, wow, it's like not working here. Hold on, let me try this again. Let me end that. We'll remove that. All right, let's try to add this in again. Yeah, I'm detoxing and all that stuff, but man, they got us good this time. It might have been that A10 that buzzed my house the last couple times. They might have dropped some shit on us. I wouldn't doubt it. They don't like what we're doing. Will this one work? No, it won't work. All right, I may not be able to get this in here. See, let me try one more time, because there's some information in here where they pretty much admit to the climate control. They admit that they're creating the climate change. I really want to get this in here. So I want to do a window capture. I wonder if I could just drag it and drop it in here. No, can't do that. All right, hold on, let me try to, I'll add it in a different way. I know I'm wasting time here, but it's got to be done. We got to show the people what's really going on. It's just, yeah, I need to really edit this video a little more, but when you don't have a lot of time, it's hard to get that. Hopefully this is the right one. All right, hopefully it's the right one. Let me bring this one in. I'll fast forward.
So you just mentioned contrails. So how do the contrails affect or have an impact on the climate?
Right. Well, contrails have a huge impact on climate. And so, in fact, some of the recent modeling work that has come out of DLR suggests that contrails today, just the ones that we're able to see up in the sky, maybe today, this week, this month, have a larger impact on Earth's climate than all of the carbon dioxide emitted by aircraft since the first powered airplane flight. So that's a huge effect. And so even as CO2 accumulates, greenhouse gases accumulate in the atmosphere, the impact of these contrails trapping heat and reflecting sunlight back into space is having a huge effect on the Earth's energy balance. And so
that's right, ladies and gentlemen. They're dumping more particles this week than all of the aviation since the very first plane. That's why our skies are so toxic. That's why we're all have a chest infection. That's why we're all sick. That's why all the plants and the trees and the bugs are dying. Let's get into this a little bit deeper.
And I'm interested in understanding how aerosols or particles that are emitted by jet engines in the atmosphere go on to evolve in the atmosphere and then also influence their ability to form the contrails that we see up high in the sky as well as clouds.
So what is this ECLIF, especially ECLIF mission now all about?
Right, and so we're delighted to be working with DLR again. NASA is and DLR have a long partnership in understanding the Earth's atmosphere. And
so let me get this straight. The aerosols and the particles evolve, then they form the contrail. Why do you think they call them a contrail? Because they're conning us to think it is water vapor when they just clearly said that there's a chemical reaction that creates the contrail.
Environment as well as the environmental impacts on aviation. And so what ECLIF and the NASA counterpart NDMAX is trying to understand is as we change the fuel that's being burned in our aircraft, the fleet is transitioning towards blends of biofuels. And so we want to understand how changes in the fuel composition change the particles and gases that are emitted by the engines.
So you just mentioned contrails. So how do the contrails affect or have an impact on the climate?
Right. Well, contrails have a huge impact on climate. And so, in fact, some of the recent modeling work that has come out of DLR suggests that contrails today, just the ones that we're able to see up in the sky, maybe today, this week, this month, have a larger impact on Earth's climate than all of the carbon dioxide emitted by aircraft since the first powered airplane flight. So that's a huge effect. And so even as CO2 accumulates, greenhouse gases accumulate in the atmosphere, the impact of these contrails trapping heat and reflecting sunlight back into space is having a huge effect on the Earth's energy balance. And so we don't understand those processes. We don't understand the processes by which contrails evolve into natural cirrus clouds. And so we're trying to understand that.
Wait. Did he just say they don't understand how the contrails turn into real clouds, to cirrus clouds? Are you kidding me?
That link, and that's what this project's all about.
So that we can understand the research better, of what do contrails consist?
Right, so contrails, or condensation trails, are little ice crystals that are high in the atmosphere. So that when we burn jet fuel in these very efficient, highly efficient jet engines, most of the carbon in the fuel is completely combusted.
He's
and
lying.
Carbon dioxide.
He's looking
and water.
away. He's
so
stuttering.
Just a typical combustion reaction. But a small amount of that, a very tiny amount, maybe 1 part in a million, goes on to form soot particles, the tiny black particles that we see on the ground from cars and buses. And so those tiny soot particles serve as nuclei, or the focal point on which water can condense and form an ice crystal. And so the theory goes, as you reduce the amount of soot produced by the engine, you might reduce the number of ice crystals that form in the contrail. And so we're trying to understand that link, the link between the particles, and then the water vapor condenses on those particles to form the clouds and the contrails.
And that's why you have different mixtures and also mix the kerosene with alternative fuels.
That's right, yeah. And so we have a fairly good handle on the emissions from traditional petroleum-based fuels. There's been a number of experiments spanning the last several decades. But given concerns about the global energy supply and oil supply, different countries like the European Union and the United States and others are really starting to consider biofuels as an alternative to petroleum-based fuels. And so what we're doing here at NASA and DLR is...
You might want to look up what's in biofuels, because it's very toxic too. Kill plants, it can kill bugs, it can drought an area out.
An alternative to petroleum-based fuels. And so what we're doing here at NASA and DLR is we're conducting the fundamental process-based research that we can then hand off to policymakers, and then they can go on and understand how the science and economic choices that that they make will affect society.
And we are here right now, live, in the research aircraft. So maybe you can explain a little bit. The Atra from the DLR flies in the front, and the DC-8 in the back.
That's right.
So what is the job of the DC-8?
Right. So the DC-8 is NASA's flying laboratory, and so you can see behind me there's a whole host of people and a bunch of racks with all sorts of instruments measuring the particles and the gases and these contrail and cloud particles. And so I'll give you a tour as we walk through and point out some of the highlights. In addition, we have a intrepid crew of maintainers. You can see they're crowding around in the cockpit up here, working to keep the plane flying so that we can continue doing research every day. And so we've done a number of flights, 4 flights so far. We expect to continue with 5 more flights this next week. And so these are the guys who really make the magic happen to make sure that we can fly every single day. And that's really, really important. Camera's left here is the navigator station. So you can see that this is where they plan the flights. And so this is the navigator station. This person is charting the route, making sure that we have the required clearances, because we're doing things that are non-traditional, where normally a jetliner takes off, it flies a straight line, and then it lands. And we're not doing that. We're flying racetracks, we're flying all around, we're targeting contrails, we're targeting planes. And so that makes a little bit of a headache for our partners at air traffic control, but they're happy to work with us. And so the navigator sort of makes sure that all works.
Don't he know there's an app for that? We just showed you the app that actually tells the chemtrails when to turn on and turn off, and the app also directs the flight paths. That's how they can fly so close without crashing.
What happens up in the air? Just really quick to wrap it up, and then we go back to the stations. Thank you.
Absolutely. So in Germany, there are a number of temporary restricted areas, TRAs, that are reserved by the military, and we, working with DLR, have access to that. And so the Atra and the DC-8 take off typically around 11 a.m. local time. And then we fly about an hour up to one of the TRAs. And so we have our choice of 4 different...
Breaking news, ladies. All right, I couldn't get the mic to unmute. Yeah, I didn't get to edit that. That was part of a show I did earlier. But yeah, man, that's they're admitting right there that they're changing the climate. It's a huge Earth energy balance. They're screwing the balance of the Earth up. That's 100% of the climate change. If you stop the flights, if you stop the chemtrails, the skies would clear up, but that's not going to happen. Even if you stop them, you got these guys out here in the Pacific Ocean. What are we looking at? We're looking at the ships. This is the ship version of the chemtrails. This is even worse. This is the bunker fuel. All these, they start out with the long little skinny line. Here's the ship, and they're dropping the bunker fuel, and it's spreading out. This is the low-level aerosol deployments. We call it the Pandora fog, which is a little different because them are carbon fiber clouds. These are just a bunch of sulfur and heavy metal particulates. And here we can click the layer. Maybe that'll make them stand out a little better. The scope of the weather program out here is just off the charts today. So we're straight out off the coast of Oregon, California. I mean, this is a huge area of the Pacific Ocean. You know what was getting me on that? They said there was the islands. I'll have to find out where them islands are. Oh, okay, so it's going to be in between. Here's where that's radiation is leaking. And you know, they here over the last couple days here, the aerosol deployments, they're doing little short ones. Like you're looking like this looks really clear until you zoom in. They're spraying right on the coast, man. They're choking out the people here in Santa Cruz. They're creating just tons of nasty particulates. They're trapping in all the carbon dioxide, all the carbon monoxide. And then if you look, you guys probably can't see until this video processes all the way. Here's a big chemtrail right here, and there's the shadow of the chemtrail. So the spraying operations here the last 2 days are kind of sporadic, but they're there. They're trying to make them hard to spot. Like here's a bunch right here. They're not doing super grids. They're doing selective sprays. You see the spraying all over Utah. All this. I thought these were fires for a minute, and I had to actually zoom in on them. Looks like little spot fires, but you got to click the layers a few times. And you're like, oh well, shit! There's all the plane tracks. They're everywhere. Goes all the way into Colorado. Look, this looks like fires. There is a fire right here. We can tell the difference between a fire and the aerosols that are being deployed. You just got to click the layers, and you start seeing the lines. See, these have already spread out into what appears to be smoke, but it's not smoke. It's the chemtrails. Serial Brain 2 is wrong. The And We Know channel is wrong. Look at the mass bombardment going on over Florida. There's no such thing as healing chemtrails. I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to let that go. He said that they're spraying healing chemtrails. That's one of the biggest stabs in the throat to the truth community when you make up shit like that and give everybody false hope that these chemtrails are good for you. And it pisses me off. So I'm going to keep on hammering on that guy because that's total BS. So we're just going to kind of take a look here. Like I said, I don't have any weather maps up. We looked right there in the beginning of the show. Christchurch, super heavy liner. Look at this liner going across. Change the level, and look what it turned into. I mean, come on. Blasting New Zealand. New Zealand's just getting hammered big time. Both islands. Aerosols being deployed over Australia. They've been getting a lot of the ship tracks here lately, so they're getting the bunker fuel too. We can go up here to yesterday. We missed yesterday's broadcast. Look, there's tons of the ships out here in the Bering Sea. So they were way up north yesterday, and now they're more right in here. There's a few here now, but they've all congregated right off the coast of California and up into the Bering Sea. We got some really strange fires going on over here in Russia. Look at this stuff. They get chemtrails too, like big time, all the time. But look at these weird fires. It looks like they dropped a cluster bomb of fires. You know, they're doing like, it looks like they're doing bombing runs and starting these fires. I went back to yesterday, man. It's the same thing. So yeah, man, weird fires going on. They got the aerosols being deployed even up north. So it's actually really pretty clear up there today. But yeah, man, they're getting waxed. They spray up in the North Pole. They spray in the South Pole. Alaska's completely on fire. They're spraying accelerants all over this place. They're burning Alaska up. You know, we need them to be planting millions of trees. You know that we caused the Dust Bowl, you know, the great drought back when they had the, you know, whatever it was called, the Dust Bowl. That's because they cut all the trees down for the farming, and they cut too many. And it caused the Dust Bowl. They caused the greatest drought in history. Man-made. All this stuff is man-made, man. They think they're gods, but they're not. And then we're just the lab rats. So we got heavy aerosols going on up in Quebec. I mean, just a bombardment going on. Huge spraying operation. This has to be a UN operation up here because it's more planes than even Canada has in that one area. Thanks out there, Kim, and everybody else out there. in the super chat and everybody that helps us see the PayPal and sends us stuff. It's maddening, man. It's maddening. And then we wonder why we're all sick. You know, and then you got truther channels out here making some cockamamie shit up to give people false hope. And then now they're not going to get off their ass and do anything. They're going to think, it's still just a conspiracy. We don't need to get up and fight. We don't need to stop it. Well, if you care about the future generations, if you care about your kids, care about your grandkids, then maybe people should start doing something. You've heard the town hall meeting I played about in Arizona. I'm going to play that and upload that video here soon, the whole thing, so people can hear it. Just being crunched on time here lately. Anyway, let me go ahead and bring up some radars. I haven't brought up any radars tonight. Like I said, I was trying to keep this thing hardly any tabs up so that we could try to get through without buffer. It seems like it's doing all right now. At first it was really slow, so it's looking good tonight. Yeah, people don't believe it, but man, they're going to have to start believing it. You know, they got to figure it out. Why are they sick? Why are we all sick? Why do we all have lung infections? Hey, thanks out there, Christy. Much love. You know, why are the storms running backwards? Like we show every night the technologies. We show where the spraying operations are. You know, why our forecast is so much more accurate than the mainstream, because we factor in the weather engineering. We called these heat waves, we called these rains, we called the severe weather weeks ago. And it's part of the Raytheon weather plan. You know, that's how it was crazy, man. I watched the Weather Channel today, like off and on as I was doing stuff. And the whole day, they were all, even the local weather stations were all just going crazy. They're saying, yeah, man, this heat, but look at the feels like temperature. Like it was like 93 here today. Humidity was, you know, pretty high, but we had a good wind. But it sounded like it was Armageddon on the local weather, and they just kept saying, it's 93 degrees, but the feels like temperature's 107. Don't go outside. You know, that they scare people, and then they're like stuck to the TV, listen to these yahoos trying to explain, you know, how hot it is. Man, people know how hot it is. It's hot, but it's not like scorched earth hot like they made it sound like today. It was just blowing my mind that they were all going by the feels like temperature. You know, over in like Lawrence, it was like 99 degrees, but they were like, oh, look at the feels like temperature. It's 111. Don't go outside. It was making me, at first I was laughing, and then it was just like driving me nuts. I'm like, what the hell are these people doing? It's that programming. See, they're trying to make everything sound so devastating that you're going to believe in the global, you know, the climate change hoax, and you're not going to dig into what's really doing it. It's an engineered thing, you know. They want to depopulate. They want to make everybody sick. That gives all the big pharma the money. That's why there's a hospital or a 24-hour care unit or a walk-in emergency every block. That's big business. These chemtrails are big business. You know, you got the people making the lithiums and the bariums and the aluminums. Big business. The coal fly ash, the bunker fuel left over, every part of it they're using to mess up the skies. See if we could spot the aerosols here, if I can get this to load up. Yeah, right. Trump don't control the chemtrails. See, that's stupid, man. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. That's the biggest lie to the truth community ever. Yeah, that's probably the dumbest thing ever. That guy, that's too bad. I mean, some of his information was okay, but for one thing, you don't use satanic numerology and then promote God stuff, man. The guy's a fake. He's a fraud. You know, that stupid brain too, serial brain too. He just, like I said earlier, he just stabbed the truth community in the throat. He just throat punched all the true researchers on what's really going on with the skies. He just took back a lot of the stuff on trying to expose this stuff. So we got, look at this, look at the aerosols being deployed from California through Nevada, Colorado. We showed them on the Worldview map. Man, they're showing up on here like crazy. We'll zoom in on this. I thought he was running the chemtrails. Hell no, he's not. The same freaking people that were doing it before are still doing it. It's not about left or right. It's about the New World Order. That's all fake. That's a soap opera. A bunch of crap. I'm going to keep on giving that guy a hard time because, man, that's bullshit. That's the biggest freaking lie on the internet right now. And he's got all them subscribers fooled. All the people he's got fooled. Oh, yeah, now they're going to really slow down the stream because we're talking bad about one of their Satanist plants. Yeah, man, people that's been around, you know, I was born in 66. We've been around. We've seen the real blue skies. This is all called cloud brightening. Look at all these liners coming through. There would not be a cloud in the sky right here if it wasn't for all these synthetic. And then the real thin, this stuff right here, this thin, that's the bunker fuel from the ships. All this low stuff, that's the real toxic bunker fuel operation. Then you got just chemtrails all the way across. Where you at, cereal brain? Sack of shit. Let's check Colorado. Yeah, they're buffering this, man. They don't like when I start ranting. Especially when I'm ranting about a fake truther. You know, too bad, man. I'm going to keep on punching him in the face. What in the hell do we got going on right there? It looks like we have some, look right in here. Is that, hold on here. I'm going to have to bring a different, it almost looks like we have like volcanic stuff coming up out of the ground. And I can't tell if that's in Wyoming. Yeah, that's in Wyoming right there. And there was another spot. There's a couple weird things going on right here on this map. Like, what was these flumes? But look at all the heavy X's, heavy aerosols being deployed. And if you think these are healing chemtrails, man, I don't know what to tell you. You've been grossly misled. Yeah, that's definitely true, man. It's all about the New World Order. It's all about the depopulation. It's about the eugenics program. That's what this is. It's not only a program to try to make you believe in climate change. It's a eugenics program. It's to make you sick. It's to cause droughts. It's to cause floods. It's always multi-agenda. It's to promote the GMO seeds. They want to sell the drought-resistant seeds. They want to sell the flood-resistant seeds. They want you to eat the franken meat, the fake meat, the petri meat, the soybean meat, you know. Look at this. This is all fake. This is all fake clouds. Man-made. It makes me sick looking at this stuff. Let's go check the Pacific Ocean. Let's go check the bunker fuel operations, man. It's going to be worse than these chemtrails by far. Let's go ahead and... They were right here off the coast of California. We'll see if this gets us out far enough. First we'll play it on the... Here I'm going to have to load the 200... Yeah, I got 200 frames. It'll take this a minute to load. Look at that. We can already see these are the chemtrails where my mouse is, and these real thin, smooth-looking ones up here, and right here is the bunker fuel. Now I'll be able to change the layers here in a minute. I just wanted to get we got chemtrails way over here. Just wanted to get a good bead on the whole map. And then let me put it on the microphysics so they stand out a little bit better. Video output still low. Still screwing with this Google. Get tired of your crap. I know. I couldn't believe it. You know, and I wouldn't give the guy such a hard time, but then he went on. He went on about it. Like, I almost made a video, and I have the thumbnail, and I may still make that video. But yeah, he went on about it. And just complete lies, man. You know, I wouldn't be so hard if he would have just said the one thing, but no, he keeps going and going on it to make, oh man, it's just part of the deception. All right, let me try to zoom in on this a little better and see if I can pick him up. Yeah, healing 5G technologies. Come on, man. And that guy's got a mega following. All his videos gets, you know, 50 to a couple 100,000 million views, man. It's ridiculous. You know, that's why channels like mine here, look, there's some of the ship tracks, there's the rest. That's why channels like mine will never get millions of viewers. Google won't let us. You know, you got to be a fake, you know, you got to be like MRB 33 or Secure Team 10 that's just half, you know, they give you a bullshit. They don't give you the truth. They won't talk about the real weather problems. You don't get, you know, interviews on ancient aliens by being truthful. Yeah, I'm talking about the And We Know channel, the Serial Brain 2 channel. He made it sound like Trump stopped the chemtrails. He made it sound like, you know, it's a battle between good and evil, but he was saying that they're spraying healing chemtrails now to clean the air. He even went farther, man. He even said that the 5G technology was going to be healing frequencies, man. He's a freaking liar. And then he pushes the Bible stuff, but yet he's using Jewish gematria, man. That's satanic numerology. And MRB 33 is he's just a freaking liar too. I've tried to confront him so many times about the chemtrail pictures he shows, and he plays it stupid. He will not talk about it, and it hacks me off, man. He's got that big a reach, calls himself a watchman, but he's not doing the watchman. I get sick of this, man. Yeah, I'm out here busting my butt trying to get people awake before it's too late, when all these guys are out here just spewing shit. Yeah, I don't want to give them no more views, any of them. Anyway, guys, so here's the bunker fuel operations. I'm circling in the white lines. And, man, this is actually a bigger operation going on than I thought. Let's go ahead and check the earth null real quick. And check the toxic air particulates in the sky. Hey, thanks there, Prepper Mom. Yeah, well, I usually do the weather, update the weather stuff every 2-3 days. Like, we know our 16-day forecast is accurate. Go back to Sunday, watch the 16-day forecast. You can go back from 2 weeks ago, and it'll still be right. I just want to check the ocean wave heights, just see if anything is going on. Kind of weird, nothing looks too bad. Want to check the sea surface temperatures. Just do a quick look. It's cooling. The ocean is cooling. It's really getting way colder over here. There was a huge swath of the hot water, the light purples, like right there. Over here in the United Arab Emirates, that's where it's really hot. Starting to get a little bit of heat going on. Look at the big heats down here in the Gulf of Mexico, out here off the coast of Florida. The only thing keeping the hurricanes from developing right now is all the dust that's flying over from the Sahara Desert, which we'll get into that here in a minute. Let's check the sea surface temperature anomalies. So, they're melting the Arctic, and I've gone over this before. They're putting a underground train system underneath here. It goes 5 miles into Alaska, 5 miles into Russia. It's going to have 3 gigantic tunnels in there. And it's like the One World Train. Just go back a couple of videos and you'll see the links. But look at all the heat. These are heat anomalies. Either there's some kind of volcanic activity going on underneath the whole upper North Plate, or they're intentionally heating it. Looks like a demon face there off the East Coast. All right, so here we are looking at the carbon monoxide at the surface. And California's let up a little bit. Look, all the nasty carbon monoxide is starting to drift out. It's not building up, at least today. East Coast, you're screwed, but that's where a lot of the chemtrails are keeping it in. You got the fires. Oh, look, that's the fires are all up here in Alaska and Russia on the same side. I mean, they got mega fires going on there in Russia. Like, they're making way for that train. I think the train's already there. I think it's already been built. We're just doing some final stages. Let's check the carbon dioxide. Just a little bit high there in California, a little bit high in the East Coast, but not too bad. And let's check the dust. Oh no, here comes 2 more monstrosity waves of this toxic Sahara dust. It's going to come all the way over and get us again. I think this is what got me sick. I think between the chemtrails and this dust is what gave my wife and I both a lung infection, and maybe a lot of other people, because it come right up in through the Midwest. And I mean, it covered the whole United States. I can only fast forward this a day or two. It's going to be down there in the Leeward Islands. It's going to come up right into the Gulf of Mexico, as far as I can go. I mean, you can go back. This one even looks bigger than the one before. We can go back and watch it hit us. It's gone across 5,000. Look at the concentrations of this stuff. This is 5,000 miles this dust is traveling, and this is thick dust. This is sand. Who knows what kind of viruses are in it? Who knows what kind of ancient, stuff is underneath this dust? What kind of plagues could be in this? Yeah, we should be wearing masks ourselves every time that's right. Look at the stream of this dust that has come across. And yeah, look, see, it hit us like 3 or 4 waves at a time. These are engineered. They have the jet stream stretched out and doing this intentionally. So everybody that has a chest infection, it's from this dust. And then you have the chemtrails trapping it in. So look at that. We just keep getting hit. Last couple years, we only got hit with this maybe once, and it wasn't nothing like right now. I mean, we're getting just blasted by this stuff. Like, there's not going to be no sand left over there. It's like they're using some kind of weapon to steer the Sahara dust over. That's why we're, when this stuff stops, that's when the hurricanes are going to start. That's why they're trying to develop them. All the hurricanes are developing over here. The very first hurricane to develop, that dust blew it apart. And it's, this is toxic stuff, man. When you put this over on the PM10s, that's what this stuff is. It's going to be pretty nasty. Look at all. This is some of it just leaving. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and call this a show. Yeah, because we're starting to really get buffered out again. I want to thank everybody out there. Thanks again, Rhonda Long and Jessica out there. Thanks for sending us that awesome artwork and the killer poem. Check out their channels because they did a video of it, of the picture and stuff. So anyway, guys, much love. Thanks for helping us out there in the super chat. Everybody that shares this information out. This is more important information than anything them big channels will put out. Anyway, guys, much love. We'll see you tomorrow night, God willing. We're going to play a song called Rise. Turn it up. We're going to have to rise. It doesn't matter whether you want to or not. They're going to bring on a civil war. They're going to bring on something. So be prepared. Armor up. Ammo up. And let's do this. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. All right, guys. Testing 1, 2, 3. Do we have audio? Are we up and live on this Friday night? Welcome in. Welcome back. Glad you could join us here for an hour to get the kind of news that you just don't get everywhere. We try to find all the bad news. We never have good news. Anyway, here we are, Friday night. We're going to jump right into this. Tons of stuff to cover. If you missed a little live show this earlier today, like it didn't even have audio for the first 4 minutes. But over here, they were calling this storm a water bomb. A water bomb expected nationwide. Before they got into the story, they got this crazy malaria outbreak and other different kinds of typhoids caused by the mosquitoes. You know, the geoengineered mosquitoes, the GMO mosquitoes. Anyway, we'll jump into that part later. I'm going to jump into a bunch of crazy stuff here. Now, I always try to show a few of the companies that are doing the weather engineering. We use these guys all the time. But check out their headline right here. This is the Climate Global Control Trading Company. We managed to change the route of the cyclone and lead its remnants to the Emirates, which led to rain and decrease of temperature by 9 degrees. They're over here steering the typhoons. This is the same place that charges $10 per cubic meter for cloud seeding. That's right. You want to buy 1 cubic meter of fresh water? $0.55 cents per cubic meter. Crazy stuff, man. It's all going on everywhere. The growing industry of cloud seeding. This just come out back in February. Talking about all the cloud seeding. Check it out. They're shooting rockets off the back of this wingtip during a tornado. Pretty crazy picture here. And I just reported down in Australia a week or two ago where I found the paperwork where they can cloud seed forever. There's no regulations on it. They're good to go forever. So while that's going on here in the Pacific, we have the Navy looks to advancements in fog of war for missile defense. That's weird. They just come out with this. Oh, wow. This is actually an old article. So this is back in 2014. We show the Pandora fog video clip all the time. Here, I'll play it real quick.
Residents in southern Tasmania are demanding to know why cloud seeding was conducted over the Derwent River catchment the day before the worst floods in 40 years. Cloud seeding is a technique used to increase rain. Hydro Tasmania has confirmed it flew a cloud seeding flight despite the weather warnings.
The Navy Warfare Development Command tested a new anti-ship missile defense system June 21st through 25th. Pandora fog consists of shipboard radar-absorbing carbon fiber clouds tested under a variety of at-sea conditions using assets from the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force. These man-made clouds are part of a layered defense and are capable of preventing a missile from detecting and striking its target. Summer is here, and it's the perfect time to take advantage of recreational activities available to you. You can rent camping equipment, boating, and other water sports equipment from your morale, welfare.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't get the scene to change there, and then I clicked the wrong scene. But anyway, yeah, they're making these carbon fiber clouds all over the place. You know, on top of the mass bunker fuel operations, which we're going to get a lot deeper into this bunker fuel that's being deployed out here in the Pacific. But I just wanted to throw this article in here. All the links will be in the description after the show, because if I put them in there before, they flag the video every time. This come out a couple of years ago. Trump administration to increase atmospheric geoengineering efforts, spray chemtrails for the next 100 years straight. Full-scale geoengineering chemtrailing operations to continue for the next century despite the dangers and health risks. High-level Trump administration officials are planning on conducting a multi-pronged operation to study and test stratospheric geoengineering within the next 18 months before deploying full-scale chemtrailing operations that could continue for the next 100 years. Man, it's been going on so long. But hey, they say it's not going on. But we have all these companies that are controlling the weather all over the place. I don't have none of this crap in order. That's why I'm like, wow, where'd all my stuff go here? We'll get into these ship tracks and lightning control and the chaff and all that stuff here in a little bit. Yeah, okay. Let me get out of this. Yeah, Friday nights is always hard to get ready. So Hurricane Barry didn't wash away the algae. It's still there. The algae bloom is still there. The waters are still toxic in the Gulf of Mexico. They said while Hurricane Barry helped churn up the Gulf of Mexico waters and briefly increase salinity off the coast, the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality collected water samples along parts of the Mississippi Gulf Coast yesterday. Unfortunately, based off the samples collected thus far, coastal water still contain contents of harmful algae bloom. Now, did all the companies, are they paying for these mistakes, for, you know, all the fertilizers and all the crap that causes this algae bloom, the toxic waters. Look at that crap. Look at that color of that water. You know, you used to be able to go to the beach and go swimming. Man, you can't go nowhere. Like, all the bodies of water have been, you know, screwed up by fracking or Monsanto spray, or, you know, fertilizers, the oil companies. Everything is dying. Radiation. Reported on all that yesterday. State of emergency declared after Madison power outage caused fires at MG&E substations. We're getting the stuff going on everywhere. Look, it's a power plant, man. It's a cloud generating station. Have you guys ever seen, if you're new here, I don't look like we got a lot of new people in here tonight, but we'll save that clip for another day. So at the highest point, the fires left more than 13,000 people without power in downtown on one of the hottest days of the year. You know, when they do eventually throw the grid down, they're not going to do it when it's hot. They're going to do it when it's freezing freaking cold. Think about the way they've steered the atmospheric river this year, the way they've flooded out the Midwest, the South, the East, actually the West. They flooded California, Washington, Oregon earlier in the year. But imagine if all that happened in the wintertime. Imagine all that moisture as snow. We'd be under, you know, 60, 70 feet of snow. Hey, thanks out there, Trev, in the super chat. Much love out there. Looks like the video settings are really lagging out right here. So I'm just kind of waiting before I do anything here so the video don't get too far off. We should have, our speed should be flying right now. So, yeah, it's just not running real good. We're in the red. Yeah, we got flesh-eating bacteria news. Oh, dang it, I just closed that link and I didn't even get to go over. Hold on, let me fix that. Yeah, check this out over in Denver. CDOT, private company working to figure out why US 36 collapse. Why is a private company doing it? Don't we pay for the roads? Don't everybody pay for the roads with taxpayer money? Man, that's some crazy stuff. Here, let me make this a little bigger so we can all see it a little better. Oh no, is it going to play a video? I don't want a video. I just want the pictures. Are these pictures or are they videos? Stupid mainstream. Anyway, check out that collapse, man. That's pretty crazy looking right there. Oh, I don't want to have to wait on that crap. What the heck? Man, mainstream sucks. So, the eastbound lanes of US Highway 36. Oh, no. Now we got the stupid sound, man. I really, really despise mainstream news. You know, and then the articles you really want to read, as soon as they pop up, boom, you got to pay $1 a month to get the stupid article, man. It's ridiculous. They want you to pay for them to lie to you. All right, the eastbound lanes of US Highway 36 continued to collapse Tuesday near the intersection of Church Ranch Boulevard. Colorado Department of Transportation and the private company that maintains the highway said they were working to figure out what happened. Why would there be a private company running the roads? You know, I don't even get that. So the hole in the road had expanded to be more than 300 feet long and 60 feet wide and was sinking an inch an hour. Now we're seeing this up in Minnesota too with their roads. Their roads, they got a mega crack going on up there. It's like a giant fault line. And they don't even tell you what they think caused this. Wow. They have no idea. Is the plate shifting? Something's going on. Now where'd that... Alright, let me close that out. Then we had the brick collapse at Owens Mills apartment complex. Could be due to possible lightning strike and high winds. Look at that. That's a whole side of a, like an apartment complex. I don't think wind did that. If wind did that, that is one crappy building. What they got here? It looks like they're trying to like make a UFO. Yeah, that's an inside light. I knew that's what that was. That was the reflection of his dome light. I thought he was trying to pawn it off as a UFO. All right. So yeah, more weird blow-ups. Check this out in Tasmania. Rainbow cloud spotted over Tasmania actually snap a rare cloud iridescence. This is inoculant clouds. The ionospheric heaters create these clouds. I got a video of the Hart director talking about how they create these clouds. This is why we're seeing the rainbow clouds. These are engineered clouds. You know for sure they're messing with the ionosphere when you see these clouds. See these clouds before earthquake? You know it was a weapon. This is right where Miles Research does his work. Oh, I'm sure they'll try to explain away the clouds to some crazy stuff that isn't true. Look at that, man. Electromagnetics on that baby. All right. So that was tapping down in Tasmania. We know who's working down there. Yeah, oh yeah, big time shout out there to Richie for putting that video out, helping us get the word out about the psychopath over there. I'm going to finish a video up. I got a follow-up video on that. Alright, so here is some magma found simmering under an extinct volcano. Here's what it means. So this is Romania's volcano. The last exploded some 30,000 years ago. Now scientists are attempting to tease apart what might be brewing miles beneath the surface. Kind of like what they're doing here with Yellowstone. They're fracking into the side of Yellowstone. They want to try to frack in there, and then they want to I don't know what they want. They said they could put the magma out with water. They think they could pump water in there and cool the magma down to keep it from exploding. They're nuts, man. They're all freaking nuts. I mean, every day it just is like, what in the world is going on? You know that we are definitely headed towards the end times with everything going on around us, man. Nothing is like it should be. All right, so the still waters of Romania's St. Anne Lake, which rests in an ancient crater. The peak last blew its top some 30,000 years ago, and its lengthy Q science has led many to presume the volcano would not likely erupt again. Don't say that, because when you do, it will erupt. So they're saying this thing harbors between 5 and 14 cubic miles of magma. Maximum volume more than 20,000 Great Pyramids of Giza. Yeah, this article seems a little boring here. Let's get out of that one. Yeah, that's what, common sense, man. That's all we need. we'd be all right. Remember this 2018 first sun dimming experiment? No, it wasn't the first one. It's just the first one they talked about. There's that David Keith, that evil guy that wants to kill thousands and thousands of people a year from the cloud seeding operations that are still going on every day. Global intervention, the way to cool the planet quickly. It's block the sunlight. See, that this is nuts, man. We've had so many volcanoes going off, and the chemtrails mimic the volcanoes. So if we have all these volcanoes going off, why are they still spraying the skies? That's because it's not just to block the sun rays. It's the eugenics program. It's all that kind of stuff. LED lights can cause irreversible eye damage, according to the French Health Authority. You think they'll pull these down for that? Hell no, they're going to make you buy more of them. You can hardly even find a regular light bulb anymore. So the French Agency for Food said that a 400-page report regarding the danger of LED lights to our eyes. The report claims that LED lights can lead to a condition called macular degeneration that causes blindness. LED lights outlast regular lighting and is up to 90% more efficient than the incandescent light bulbs. LED lighting is cheaper and has taken over half the lighting market. So you know what they'll do? They won't do a damn thing. They won't change them. In fact, they're going to sell more of them. If they can blind some people, they'll be happy with that. So they acknowledge that it's going to mess with you. So they're going to put it in all the street lights, and, you know, if they're going to light pollute the sky so you can't look up at the sky. They're trying to hide the sky with the chemtrails. They're hiding the sky with the LED lights, with the pollution. So wow, man. How to prevent damage to your eyes, skin, and wow, man, that's a pretty crazy article right there. Hey, thanks out there, Wally's. Much love out there. Thanks everybody that helps us out there. And it gets worse. Elon Musk is making implants to link the brain with a smartphone. I mean, we're getting close, guys. If they're coming out with this, who knows what they have already. Elon Musk wants to insert Bluetooth-enabled implants into your brain, claiming the devices could enable telepathy and repair motor function in people with injuries. I mean, they are pushing this transhuman, well, they're pushing that too. The CEO of Tesla and SpaceX said the Neuralink devices will consist of a tiny chip connected to 1,000 wires measuring 1/10 the width of a human hair. You know, I wonder how many people are running around with these things already. You know, these guys are mad men, man. They're mad scientists. They got more money and they know what to do with, so they just start doing some Frankenstein stuff here. If you're going to stick something in a brain, you want it not to be large, Musk said. That's crazy. Hey, thanks out there, Jennifer. Much love out there. Trials could start before the end of 2020, so they're going to start. They've already done it then. If they're going to admit that they're wanting to do brain implants by 2020, that means the trials have already begun. And we see it over in China, man. They implanted the human brains into the monkeys. They did some stuff with some pigs. I mean, there's some Frankenstein stuff going on out there. and it's not for our benefit. Musk said the latest project is an attempt to use artificial intelligence to have a positive effect on humanity. AI is going to kill humans. Remember that one robot, Sophia? She wants to kill humans? Yeah. A giant heat dome over Alaska is set to threaten all-time temperature records. Wow, this is old. I've already used this article. Let's get out of there. I don't know how I even got that up. There's an environmental disaster unfolding in the Gulf of Mexico. Man, this is an old article too. How did I get all these old? I meant to fire the video guy. He's sucking tonight. All right, there's a big earthquake in Greece. Panic after a 5.3 magnitude tremor strikes near Athens. 5.3 quake was felt 14 miles north of Athens shortly after 2 p.m. At least one building has collapsed. Around 15 people are thought to be stuck in a lift. I don't think I'd be wanting to be underneath all them bicycles in an earthquake. That would hurt. So a little bit of damage there. Actually, a lot of cosmetic damage. Oh, wow. So the earth is definitely quaking and shaking. Yeah, I'd pour a big bucket of water on Sophia. Maybe they're not waterproof. All right, we already went over that article. The welcome to the global climate change and microwaves. Oh, I want to get into that later. Lack of monsoon storms may affect air quality. What about all the dust coming over from the Sahara? Is this coming out of Tucson, Arizona? The cicadas are blaring. Yeah, I just heard some last night out here. They're out. The wind is blowing, but no rain drenching monsoon storms in most of their region, except for the parts that they're spraying. Where they're cloud seeding, they're getting the rain. Let's go ahead and take a look at the worldview map. All right, so here we are looking at the worldview map, looking at the cloud layers. And guess what? We got tons of ships back out here. It's like they've eased up a little on the chemtrails, but they're blasting out all the ship tracks. All the bunker fuel is in overdrive out here. So you got a small operation down here in the tip of the Bajas. And you got a bigger operation right here off the coast. You know, here's the border of Mexico and California, so just a little bit south of that. And you got a mass spraying operation right out here in the center. We're looking at all these weird little squiggly lines that start from a point. All the yellow lines. Look, they're even over here. They're out here by Russia too, and Japan, underneath the Aleutian Islands. Actually, there's a lot of ships out here. Wow. Can't really see them as good till you hit that cloud layer. Yeah, New York's, I don't know, this map, yeah, see, it's a little behind. Like, you guys have already all been sprayed, because here's where all the aerosols are right now. And I did have this all loaded, so I don't know why it's not loading up real clear right now. Stream is sucking. Is the mic modulating again? Yeah, I've been trying to mess with the sound. I don't know what the heck is going on. I turned everything way down. Yeah, they're just targeting us, making things a little hard on us here. mass spraying operation all up around the north. Tons of fires up in Canada. I mean, they're just going everywhere. Alaska. Yeah, the spraying is real light. Like they're not doing any bombarding yet, but they will. When you look at they're all down here. They're not very thick. They're not laying no big liners till you get over here. Like Wyoming's getting sprayed pretty heavy. Parts, look, they're just starting a spraying operation up here in Nebraska. So the next storm system, they're heavy spraying there in Indianapolis, Indiana, Ohio. We got heavy spraying up in the Northeast. See what's going on down here in the Gulf. Like when we go into the little spraying there in Georgia. Like right now we're in that little break I was talking about. We're going to have a little bit of a break. We got a little bit of storms coming in here. Wow, this ain't even working. Why is this not working? Yeah, they marinated us and now they're burning us. Wow, why is this working? They must be updating it or something. What's going on here? Everything's highlighted. Like, can I move it now? Wow, it's like, let me try to reload that. That sucks because I had it all loaded. Wow, what'd they do to it? They took it, they hit it. They updating the tropical tidbits. Wow, they did. Wow, I can't even show you guys. Hey, thanks out there, Babu. I can't show you the forecast models right now because I guess they're updating it. Maybe they're adding something in there or taking away something. Well, it's going to show you where the spraying operations were going to start, and they're going to start here in the next day. Like they're going to be spraying heavy tomorrow. They're probably spraying right now. It's just not showing up on here. But it will show up on the Go 16, Go 17. Yeah, Ohio's getting waxed. Yeah, we can definitely see it. Hey, thanks there, Earth. Like, this is just nasty synthetic skies. We can click the layer, see if we can get it when it started. Wow, that was a big fat liner if that'll load. They can mess the sky up like really fast. Yeah, it's so weird, man. The internet works perfectly fine till I hit that live button. And then all of a sudden, the wheel of death comes in. I mean, the internet was just kicking butt. Like when I was getting ready, everything was loading fast. And now, man, it's just horrible. And usually it kind of jumps around. Oh yeah, we're right at 10:30. See, right at 9 o'clock, right at 10:30, right at 10 o'clock. They always buffer us for just a minute or two. All right, so now we can see these big old heavy liners right here. I mean, them are nasty. So they dropped some pretty nasty stuff on Indiana. See how these things so it's like two real big fat liners, but then it turned into all this. So Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, all waxed. It's heading towards Philadelphia, up into the North Bay, and you got a mega spraying operation, you know, already up past everybody. Look at this guy right here, man. He did a U-turn and went back. So you got tons of spraying going on out here in the Atlantic. X is in the middle of nowhere. They're going to send that all over to Europe. You got mass weather manipulation going on down in Argentina big time. Wow, what do we got going on here? Hopefully that's just, is that a dust storm or We got some crazy looking colors going on if that'll load. That's so crazy, man. I had all this loaded. Yeah, we got some big time fires going on down here. Hey, thanks there, Debbie. Much love out there. See the dust mixing in there. Off the Sahara's coming at us again. Trying to get the map to load so we can see this water bomb. That's what they dubbed it, the water bomb. Fire still going up in Russia. Spraying operations up in Russia. Let me try the earth null. We'll see if it's working. Let's see if the does the Canadian model work. All right, we have the Canadian model. So we're gonna go up 6 hours, 30 hours. So right here, here's where the spraying operations will be on Sunday. So they're going to start spraying right across Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, South Dakota, and they're just going to keep spraying out ahead of the storm. So as this storm goes, they'll spray all the way around this damn thing. They'll be cloud seeding this whole operation. So this is our couple days break from the chemtrails, and then they're going to start right back up. So it's actually looks like a pretty not too bad here for the next week, other than the heat and the temperature swings. Let's go ahead and check the temperature, see what's going on with that. We're looking at, these are the Canadian models. The GFS models they're updating the weather plan. So there's some pretty good hundreds. Oh, this is 30. We got to get up to now. Okay, here we are right now. Some more 101s there at the border of Colorado and Kansas. Everybody else in the 90s, hundreds throughout the day. Big swath of hundreds. And still in the hundreds for Saturday. And then it looks like we're going to get a little cool down. So I'm just kind of going through this. So it's going to drop some temperatures down pretty good. We're looking at the 70s here by Monday. So we're going to get a little break. Wow, we're going to get a nice little break for like a day. 2 days. Tuesdays looking cool. Look at this. 59, 61 in Kansas City, 58 up in Iowa. Now that's going to feel cold after this kind of heat. So yeah, it looks like we're going to go into a cooling trend for a little bit. All right, so if we make it through this heat, then it's going to cool down a little bit. Then they're going to scorch the southwest. Now they're going to be hitting like 109 over there, real-time temperature. That's not the feels like, that's the temperature. So it looks like they're changing the weather plan to a cooling trend for quite a while. Weird, pretty good heat way up in South Dakota. That's pretty crazy. Look, you have a spot in South Dakota and North Dakota, 90, 91, while everybody else is in the 80s, even, down at the coast. So they're probably going to park that air. We'll have to look at the wind, see what they're doing with the jet stream. They got to be, the ships that are out there must be doing some weather pattern changes. Oh man, there's so many reasons why they manipulate the weather. It's about everything. It's about big pharma. It's about eugenics program. It's about everything, about the gas companies, the energy companies. Like it's so multifaceted that you can't even probably figure it all out. It's about resources. It's about ruining the food supply so they can make everybody have to use the GMO seeds, the GMO crops, the drought-resistant food, the 3D printed food, the Petri dish food. I mean, they're it's all about the Georgia Guidestones. All right, let's go ahead and check the jet stream here. Look, we still don't have a jet stream over the United States. It's just right over Canada. It's just going straight. There's no troughs, no dips. That's unbelievable, man. They've kept that thing there for months. It's not dipping down like it should be. Let's take it forward, see if we can see what's going to dip it down. So it's trying to create a ridge. It's probably not going to go far enough forward. So there's one little trough coming around the 24th. That's going to help cool us off. We're going to finally get a little cool air in here. So that's going to help. We'll take it because it's roasting out there right now. Now we'll just have to pay attention of the ship tracks down here. We know we got an operation down here, 2 operations in the Bajas. You got them up here under the Aleutian Island chain, and then right out here northwest of Hawaii there's a bunch of ships, and most likely there's some over there in the Kamchatka Peninsula there. Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen the jet stream stay so straight. You know, in the 6-7 years I've been documenting this stuff, that's like just nuts. Let's check the sea surface temperatures, because it's actually been cooling down. Usually this hot water over here is a lot bigger, and look, it's really hot here in the Gulf of Mexico, down around Mexico, and then we got a kind of a heat anomaly over here, but this is the actual temperatures. Let's check the anomalies. The anomaly's just growing. So they're definitely still have the heat dome over Alaska and out here in the Pacific. Starting to get a little hot spot. Wonder if we have a volcanic thing going on down here by the equator. Could be. It's even showing the hot spot over here in the anomalies. So a lot of strange heat anomalies. Look, the hottest part on the planet is up here in Alaska and out here off the coast. What is brewing out here under the ocean? Gotta figure it's gotta be signs of the times. We're looking at the carbon monoxide, the surface concentrations. Look at, I mean, look at all these fires up in the north, you know, up in the Arctic pretty much. Just crazy fires, man. They're cooling the planet with the volcanoes and the fires. Look, we got some kind of fire. You know, I can't tell if that's in Colorado. Like, here's a volcano right here. And, I mean, we just got nasty air there off the East Coast. Here we are looking at the carbon dioxide. Not bad, really, compared to what I've seen. Let's go ahead and check the particulates. We got a huge wave of the Sahara dust coming again. This is the stuff I think gave me the lung infection on top of the chemtrails. But we got a big pile of this crap coming again. This only goes out a couple days, so it's like they're trying to wash away all the dust and bring it over here to us, all the sand and particulates. Here's the sulfate extinction. Ooh, man, China's looking bad. So it looks like our Hey, I gotta yawn, man. I'm tired. So the PM 2.5s are actually looking much better for us. So hopefully we'll clear out a little bit. How about the PM 10s? Pretty high. A lot of PM 10s out there. That's some bad particulates. The PM 1s are the worst. There's that weird spot down there in Mexico, Texas, right there at the border. But it looks like overall we're a little bit better. There's one thing I forgot. I wanted to look at the yeah, you know, you always hear me talking about the bunker fuel and the ship tracks. All these straight lines that we're looking at, that's from the cargo ships. These are the shipping lanes. That's how we know these weather modification boats, they're not in the shipping lanes. They're out here doing random patterns. But that's how bad the emissions are, that they're picking it up on these sensors. These are the climate, you know, this is the climate control right here. This is the climate change right here. It's all this crap. Wow, finally loaded. So here is our tropical storm. If you watched the earlier show, man, they cloud seeded this so heavy all the way from India, all the way across everywhere, through Thailand, all the way up, and steered this system right into where they were spraying. You got the weird clouds down here in Tasmania. Same place that the Miles Research Company put out the fires with the electromagnetic weather moderation. Well, I can't get it to load. I guess it ain't gonna load for us. Okay, let's look at one more thing. I really wanted to get into some articles here. Here, I'm gonna post, if you haven't read this stuff here, over at Jim Lee's site, man, he's got tons of information. But he talks about the accidental geoengineering, kind of like we did the other day, between the ship tracks and the chemtrails. You can find out what the bunker fuel is, the dirty clouds, sulfuric acid from aviation, and ship tracks may be higher today than geoengineering SRM would require. You can tell I'm getting tired when I can't talk. Here's some more maps of the shipping lanes for the bunker fuel. And then lightning follows the path of this because of all the particulates. Whoa, look at that freaky storm up there. What is that thing? That's like the blob. You guys remember that storm, the blob that was out there in the Pacific a couple years ago? Yeah, even my tongue's tired. I'm always worn down by Friday, man. I just, man, you know, looking at this stuff takes a lot out of you. It does. Yeah, you can definitely see them. There's still cloud seeding down here too. Let's go ahead and put that on the Cirrus layer. Man, that's just a weird looking storm up there. They're not getting very good at hiding all the stuff that they're doing. This has to be one of the weirdest looking maps I've seen in years. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen the map with only 2 storms on it. Got tons of aerosols. Ooh, look at that bunker fuel. Holy crap. All this over here that's getting ready to pop up is all bunker fuel. Look at this bunker fuel coming in. Look at all that. That is bad. Let me pause that. That is all bunker fuel right there. Down here too. So you got bunker fuel coming in from the south, from the Bajas, right over Northern California. Tons of bunker fuel. Then you got the aerosols mixed in there too. Strange looking map. Look at that big chemtrail right there. They're spraying all around these 2 little systems. Here's all the aerosols being deployed. Little spraying operation down there in the Leeward Islands. Spraying going on in South Carolina. Right off the coast. Look, all the storms are running backwards still down here. So since they have the jet stream bypassing the United States, the storms are going backwards. This looks just like Barry. It's going backwards. Instead of emanating from the tropics going up, it's emanating over Tennessee and going backwards. We're going to zoom in on that a little bit just to see some of the aerosols being deployed in this reverse system. I know, you always got to rub in the air quality in Israel. We know they got good air. We just seen it earlier. Perfectly clear. Yeah, look at the spraying operation going on in Texas. You know, you can't find all this just on the worldview map. You got to dig into all these other maps. Louisiana's getting pounded. Arkansas, waxed. Mississippi, waxed. Alabama, blasted. Florida, you're getting hit. Georgia, all fake clouds. Man-made. But the storm is firing up the wrong way. Look at it, it's going the wrong way again. Anyway, guys, so bear with this heat for a few more days. It'll be out of here soon, and we'll be in a cooling trend. So if we just got to make a couple more days through this heat, then we'll be all right. But thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks everybody out there that helps us out in the super chat, the PayPal, send us stuff, all the goodies and stuff. Much love out there. But I am spent, man. I'm going to get off here for I can't even talk at all. Anyway, guys, much love. We'll see you tomorrow night, God willing. And I got a couple other little vids I'm going to work on. Make sure you check out Richie's last video. It takes a lot of balls to put people on blast like that. In fact, I'm making my own version of it. So, anyway, props to him. Anyway, guys, much love out there. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Here we go. Let's rock out. Let's rise. Here we go. Hopefully it'll work. I don't know if it will.
Hello, my name's Al DeChico. I live in Golden Valley, and I understand that this is a federal issue. I understand that from speaking to the governor's office, that they cannot or will not even make a statement about this. My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And also, are you aware that many of the people sitting in this room right here have very high levels of barium, aluminum, and strontium in their blood? People are getting sick and dying. And we want the ADEQ not just to give us a little speech today, but actually to maybe perhaps speak out against it if you know it's going on. And if not, I would suggest you do a lot more investigation. We've been doing it for years. So I'd like a comment on, one, the rainwater, what's in it, and two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you. Does
All right, guys, welcome in. Good morning. Hopefully the mic is working. Is the mic working? Okay, there we go. Much love out there. So, this cereal brand, this And We Know channel doubles down. So on top of trying to normalize the chemtrails and make them feel like they're healing chemicals, this guy has gone way too far. This is a big throat punch to the truth community. And I reached out to Richie the other day just to see if he would take a look at this stuff. And he did a video on it. And I'm going to play some of that video right now. And there's a reason why these channels come out. And he explains it much better than I do. So let's play this and make sure you check his channel out. Make sure you go watch this video. Links in the description. And let him know we sent him over there. So here we go. Let's play this clip here.
It's 2019. It's pretty early in the morning. I slept in a little bit. I've only had one coffee. And I was doing what I usually do this morning. I'm looking through my emails. I'm trying to reply to ones that are easy to reply to. I'm looking through Twitter, etc. And I've had this queued up for several days because I'm getting lots and lots of subscribers and other YouTube channels asking me to show people this channel for what it is. So I'm not attacking this dude. I don't have anything to do with this dude. I didn't even know this channel existed until I found this. So here we go. It isn't my job. It isn't Call for an Uprising. It's not Nicholson. It's not Face Like the Sun. It is not End Times Productions' job to point out other channels. But when it directly contradicts what you're saying, when somebody is claiming to be a quote-unquote a woke truther and they're giving you absolute hogwash bullshit, somebody needs to call them out. Now, in doing this, this will do my channel and myself more harm than good, but it has to be done. So here we go. Before I do this, let me show you some things that you may or may not know, but this is a fact. These are going to be all from the mainstream. Check this out. Now, you may or may not have been aware of this, but we've been showing you this. And when I say we, I mean the channels that you know that have been around for a long time. Okay? We've been showing you this for years. This goes back to January 3rd, 2017. And the Army, social media psyops, struggling to...
Now, before I go any farther into this video, I've seen somebody jump on there and say, oh, I'm not going to listen to this. Look, man, a lot of us out here that are making these videos, we communicate. We don't agree on everything, but when it comes to a message that you need to unite on, we come together. I mean, me and Richie have talked for a long time. He used to come on my live shows all the time. We disagree on the shape of the earth. We disagree on a lot of things, but when it comes to common sense stuff, we totally agree. So listen to this video because he explains it much better than I do. So if I can get it to play again. Maybe.
Track fresh blood. We have no recruiting targets, says an indignant MOD spin doctor. What this means is the military has social media psyops units, and lots of them. And what their job is to do is to go into the comment section and leave a rude or ignorant comment. Basically takes away, it leaves doubt in people's minds. Do you know what I'm saying? Not only do they have these, but they also have quantum computers and AI doing the same thing. But this has been going on for a long time. For all of you that follow channels that love them, that are really well produced, and they just popped up out of nowhere like 11 months ago, and then they got 200,000 subscribers already, and their views are up in the hundreds and 200s of thousands, chances are that is not a legit channel, because this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a real thing. It's been going on since the day the internet popped up. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just absolutely kicked into high gear the last few years, big time, along with, of course, YouTube changing their algorithm. And this is a complete and total fact. Every time you watch a video of mine or any other channel that you may follow, every single time it goes from my video to mainstream. This is what they've done. These guys work hand in hand with these guys. And not surprisingly, whatsoever at all, this has been going on for a long time. And you may or may not know, anybody that goes against Israel, they'll have their own dedicated army, much like I do. Do you see what I'm saying? And I get it all the time. Richie's a shill. Richie's this. Richie's an agent. Richie's this. Richie's a dude. I don't hide my identity. All my information, my honorable discharge from the military has been on the internet. Do you see what I'm saying? Well, you sell, yep. I could actually have 7 sponsors every single solitary day and absolutely be rolling in it. And instead, I only picked the ones that I would actually use, the ones that I would be comfortable if you had an issue. Do you see what I'm saying? I had a sponsor before, and I think it was about 6 subscribers emailed me and said it didn't work out. I dropped them. That's a fact. Do you know how you can tell? Because I don't have them anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? I have almost 500,000 subscribers. That in a monetary system is valuable, and I keep it absolutely light. And the other thing is, you can go through all my videos. Do you know how many people I've gone and helped, as well as other channels? How many channels do you know that actually do that, or give things away, or help people out, or even just care? Do you see what I'm saying? So when you see that Richie's a shill and this and that and the other thing, don't forget. Don't forget. Do you see what I'm saying? They're simply out there doing their job. That's what it is. Now, I'm going to leave links to all this so that you can see that this is a real thing. But my main concern today is going to be this guy. Here's just a couple of messages that I got. Any chance you could expose this jackass? See this? You see this? And I've had this queued up. I didn't know who this dude was. Well, it's apparently this person. And it is called And We Know. 191,000 subscribers. Over 250,000 views. And a quick search real quick shows you. Well, it shows you they just showed up 11 months ago. 11 months ago, and they're already at 191,000 subscribers. That's pretty amazing, because I've been here since, 2010. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm just I made it to, 341,000, and I've been stuck for how long? But here's the problem with this guy. This dude, much like this fella is saying, he's using the Kabbalah, death cults, gematria, and apparently now they're using healing chemicals in those chemtrails. This YouTube channel is telling you that Trump is sending him secret messages using the beast or gematria system, and that they are now spraying healthy chemicals in the atmosphere for everybody to enjoy. Do you see what I'm saying? This is absolute bullshit. This person is either entirely, completely, and totally batshit crazy, or they're one of these guys. Because as you can see, this is an incredibly real thing. Do you see what I'm saying? If there's any truth in what you're saying, you will not make it to 280,000 views. It's just not happening. Do you see what I'm saying? This guy is telling us that he's getting secret messages from QAnon, which is complete and total bullshit, and from Donald Trump telling us that everything is fine, that they're now spraying healthy chemtrails in the sky for everybody to enjoy. Okay? This is bullshit. This person is either the most gullible, under the spell person walking the face of the earth right now, or he's one of these people. And yes, these are very, 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 very real. This is for another video, so I apologize. At any rate, I don't know who this dude is. I don't subscribe to this dude. Never heard of him. And why would I? They just popped up 11 months ago, apparently. And they're already at almost 200,000. And apparently their views, their thumbs up, everything is fine. Nothing's being screwed with. 5,000 comments. Now, you guys have been watching long enough to know that if you're saying anything of consequence, or if you're saying anything that's going against the agenda, you are demonetized, your subs go backwards, and your views and your thumbs up get effed with all day, every day. This guy's telling you Trump is sending secret messages in gematria and that they're spraying the sky with healthy chemtrails. Healthy chemtrails. Are you shitting me? And for anyone that's still concerned or thinks Donald Trump is anything other than the haired billionaire reality show actor, well, here's something that Vigilant Intelligence just put out. You might know him better.
So there you go. Anyway, want to thank Richie for doing that, man. It takes a lot of guts and balls to come out here and attack, other channels. We're not really attacking them, but calling them out, because it needs to be done. I mean, this guy doubles down and said Trump confirms he took the control of the chemtrails. I mean, you look at some of these comments, man, these people are actually believing this stuff. So this is just another way to normalize the aerosols that are being deployed. There's no way they're going to stop. In fact, they're ramping it up. They don't want people doing things like the Arizona meeting I was showing there in the beginning. Anyway, guys, much love. Thanks, Richie, for getting on this channel. It needed to be done. So there you go. Anyway, here, I'll leave with this last little clip here.
Hello, my name's Al DeChico. I live in Golden Valley, and I understand that this is a federal issue. I understand that from speaking to the governor's office, that they cannot or will not even make a statement about this. My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And also, are you aware that many of the people sitting in this room right here have very high levels of barium, aluminum, and strontium in their blood? People are getting sick and dying. And we want the ADEQ not just to give us a little speech today, but actually to maybe perhaps speak out against it if you know it's going on. And if not, I would suggest you do a lot more investigation. We've been doing it for years. So I'd like a comment on, one, the rainwater, what's in it, and two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you. Does the ADEQ have the ability to take a position on this and investigate it further and find out where these toxic metals are coming from that are in our rainwater and in our blood? Thank you.
Thank you. I am assuming you do have scientists in your organization. Is that correct?
We do, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm one of the, my name is Michelle Arnett, and I'm from Bullhead City. And I'm one of the several who have had my blood tested because I was getting sick and I didn't know why. And I did go to my doctor, and he had safe, and he didn't have a clue what to do about it. And then the bottom line was, he said, I think you're just going to have to live with it, and I want to be healthy. So just out of curiosity, how many of you in here have had your blood tested? Raise your hands. Okay, thank you.
Todd Howard from Kingman. I understand your skepticism, I really do. But I have a couple questions for you, not to come up against you, but to try to get your institution, your agency moving. The ADEQ?
Yes, sir, ADEQ.
Has a mission statement, does it not? It was created for a purpose.
It does.
Can you tell us what that is?
Saturday, July 20th, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, in this video, we're going...
All right, guys, welcome back. Testing the audio. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us? Here we are reporting from the above ground world news FEMA Region 7 hideout. Anyway, guys, it's Saturday night. We made it to Saturday night. Much love out there. You know, we're on here every night trying to dig through the evil plan that we have to go through because it's our time. And you know, as we battle the darkness, we're seeing how they are deploying their tactics by division. You know, they try to divide us through race. Try to race bait us, try to start wars that we don't need. You know, the whole mainstream media is full of deception. The left, the right paradigm is all deception. It's all fake. You know, and when people first come and watch this stuff, man, they think we're nuts. But if you can just spark a little bit of opening in their minds, and then you start tilting to where you start seeing what's really going on, and the total, you know, mind games that they're playing on us. Just like this article right here. Call it the Trump heat wave. The current scorcher is just a taste of what's coming. And they go on to say Trump policies push parts of Florida and Texas to endure 5 months a year of heat index over 100 degrees. Now, in my opinion, you know, the presidents and all the politicians, they're all just like a soap opera show. They're not real. You know, they're actors, just like the mainstream media. They're all actors. So they want to divide us. You know, they put these guys up here in office like Trump and you know, whatever other candidate they got here coming up in 2020. And it's all just a show, man. You know, this weather modification has been going on since the 1800s. But you can see the mainstream media wants to say Trump's in charge. Trump's not in charge. You know, everybody wants to try to rally behind their favorite actor. But that's what they are. They're just actors. You know, the true battle is the battle between the good versus the evil. And that's what we're trying to get through to the people that aren't awake. You know, they don't want us to come together like in Iceland. Iceland had the pots and pans revolution. They got rid of all their corrupt politicians with their pots and pans. That's what needs to happen worldwide, because it's all the governments. You know, it's not the people of any country, it's the governments. It's the people in power. The power needs to come back to the people, but not the way the mainstream and all them are trying to push it. It's going to be up to us, up to the Generation X, because we're the last ones, man. They've already mind controlled all the kids. They're giving them all the radiation from the cell phones and the tablets and what have you. All the vaccinations are giving them to make them sick. You know, it's crazy, this gender stuff that they're pulling, the mind games they're pulling on the kids. It's ridiculous. It hacks me off. You know, things are changing, so we got to keep on fighting. We got to step the game up. We got to go after the mainstream. We got to put them out of business. So anyway, that's what we're going to try to do. But, you know, these articles like this are just complete mind games. You know, they want to blame this stuff on us. Let me show you something here. We're going to get into a lot of stuff tonight. So back in 2018, 100 special planes and $2.5 billion per year for sulfate geoengineering. This is on the cost and capabilities of lofting technologies. Researchers reviewed a lofting technology that seemed plausible as methods to put 100,000 tons per year of sulfur to an altitude of up to 20 kilometers. The program then scales to 5 million tons per year. The main research involved engaging directly with commercial aerospace vendors to elicit what current near-term technology platforms can achieve. The total estimated cost, $2 billion for a special airframe, $350 million to modify existing low bypass engines. These numbers are toward the lower end. So, I mean, you know, all this stuff has already been going on. Let's go back to 1952. 1952 shows the U.S. military testing biological warfare on the United States. From 1949 to 1969, the U.S. government carried out at least 239 tests on unsuspecting U.S. civilians that were meant to simulate biological weapon attacks. Officials back then used what they believed were harmless simulants of actual bioweapons. The author of the investigative book Clouds of Secrecy, the Army's germ warfare test over populated areas. Let me get this down. I'm not going to play the film. I've already got a bunch of copyright crap going on right now. So these attacks were meant to devastate food supplies, incapacitate both armed forces, human population that directly supports them. That's what we're seeing right now. The narrator says the Navy can deliver a biological or a chemical attack anywhere on 3/4 of the Earth's surface that's covered by water and hundreds of miles inland. We're seeing it going on out in the Pacific right now. So you look at these guys spraying this stuff off the ships right off the coast of San Francisco. They're still doing it, ladies and gentlemen. We show it every night with their own maps, with their own tools. This stuff is real, man. This stuff is going on. Stratospheric aerosol injection tactics and cost for the first 15 years of deployment. All these links will be in the description. Get rid of these as we go. The numbers are horrendous. Almost 30,000 species face extinction because of human activity. What human activity? It's not us, but they want it. They want us to think it is us. You know, they're going to push the climate control because that's what it is. They have the thermostat. They have the thermostat in their hand. They can heat the place up. They can flood it out. They can drought it out. But they want to make you think you're responsible. They want you to pay for their operations and then take away all your rights at the same time. Monsoon flooding death toll rises to 152 in South Asia. We watched this cloud seeding program cause this storm. Nightmare flying ant swarms in Britain are so large they can be seen from space. This is another radar where they try to show you that it's something, but it's not. It's just the microwaves. But they want to say it's bugs and birds and bats and butterflies and all that nonsense. Storms leave 227,000 without power in Metro Detroit. Impact a total of 82,000 customers. And these were freak storms. Wait till you see them on the radar. These are all freak storms, man-made. Hundreds evacuated from Philadelphia retirement community in stifling heat. You know, you guys had, everybody that watches this channel had a 2-week warning from this heat. And then you also know that there's a cool down coming. A big change is coming. That's why we're not seeing as many aerosols being deployed, because they're changing the weather pattern again. Every time we see it, the bunker fuel operations go up, the chemtrails go down, and then there's a big swing. We also had the sea floor of the Outer Banks Island is bubbling methane fumes. Now this is the off of North Carolina, and this is right where the hot spot is on the Earth Knoll. So they're investigating at spot 39 miles off the North Carolina's Outer Banks. Say they have encountered surreal stretch of sea floor filled with geyser-like bubble flumes. Some are continuous, some go a little randomly here. We're also seeing hot spots out off the west coast. More bad news for the farmers. U.S. heat wave to hit a critical time for crops and farmers. These are all engineered droughts. If you go back and really dig into history and look at each war, they droughted every country out. They flooded them out, and then they invaded them. And when you look at what's going on here in America, and actually everywhere, you know, they droughted them out first, and they flood you out. Then they come in. And you notice all the new technology, all the military, they're all training for urban warfare. They're getting ready. We have to get ready. So, yeah, it's just getting crazy here. I'm trying to get through some of these tabs. I got so many tabs up. Sandwiches and salads sold at Target. Fresh Market recalled over listeria. The food is toxic, man. You can't depend on the food. Any kind of processed food, anything. Everybody needs to help their local farmers out. Buy from your local farmers. Screw Walmart. Screw all these big box stores. Turn the mainstream off. That's how we fight this. You turn the mainstream off. You quit buying from the mega stores, and it forces them to do something different. That's the only way. I mean, if you go in there trying guns blazing, you're just going to get wiped out. It has to be, you have to do it in a smart way. Farmers are using flame-throwing tractors to get rid of the weeds and pests. This is how you should be doing it instead of spraying the Monsanto. It's actually an old article, but I needed the thumbnail, so this is how they should be doing it. Hey, thanks out there, Babu. Man, it is roasting right now. Thanks out there, Super Dave. I just seen the super chat there. Much love. Thanks everybody that joins us every night. They're on Twitch, DLive, Facebook, here on YouTube. I can't monitor all the other ones, so you guys are all on your own there on Facebook. I can't monitor all that stuff. So Austin, Texas, chosen as site for the U.S. Army's new weapons development post. We're going to have some eyes down there. We're going to need some footage to see what they're working with. Scorching heat literally off the charts may soon be coming to the U.S. It's already here. This was back on the 17th. So there's something in here I wanted. Okay, parts of the Midwest and central United States could face what scientists are calling killer heat. Texas, Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, Oklahoma are among the states that could regularly see temperatures more than 120 degrees by the mid-century. It's because of you. You did it. Your car did it. You know, right here, 3 estimates assume no action will be taken to reduce carbon emissions. The study says, according to the Environmental Protection Agency, most of the country's carbon emissions come from transportation and electricity production. I guess they didn't look up at the military. Do you know that the military puts off more emissions Our military puts off more emissions than most countries. In fact, probably all the countries. See, everything is a lie, man. Everything is a lie. All you gotta do is look for yourself. Don't believe me, research. China gas factory blast kills at least 12. 12 people have died from a powerful explosion that ripped through a gas plant in central China. Reports said the force of the blast shattered windows from far as 3 kilometers away. We're seeing this all over the world. Everything is blowing up out here. I mean, they have, you know, a plant blow up like every year, a couple of them. Yeah, the EPA is just another alphabet gang. Here's some freak tornado damaged cars, buildings in Manchester. This happened today. Let's see if we can play this. It's right by the Manchester airport. I haven't seen this yet. It may not play. Stream's looking pretty good. Here we go. Oh, gotta turn the sound off before I get struck again. I got a copyright over a video I did in 2015 on chemtrails and 9/11. How the temperature changed from when they weren't spraying from the 9/11. The planes were grounded. Yeah, I got a copyright strike for that video from 2015, man. YouTube is pissing me off. Every video we do every night gets demonetized, and I have to do a manual claim. I mean, I'm talking every night. And last night, they won't monetize it. The one on the naval, the last night, this morning's, but last night, because we're telling the truth. They don't want the truth out. So I wanted to jump over here to Jim Lee's site here and talk about some of these a little bit deeper into the bunker fuel operations. In a single day, one cruise ship emits as much particles as 1 million cars. Sulfuric acid from the aviation and ship tracks may be higher today than geoengineering. Solar radiation management would require in 2020. You know, and they took this layer off here where you can't, like if you could use the 3.6.7 layer, you can see them that good, but they got rid of that one. And what's crazy, man, we can go right here. Hey, thanks, sir, Michelle. We can go right over here to the Earth null. And let me back this out so you can see. We're looking at the planet here. And if you zoom in, like look here. Here's Hawaii. And you're looking over here towards the coast of California. See these long lines? These are the ship tracks. These are the freighters and the ocean liners, and they're putting out so much sulfur that it's leaving, you know, lines on the planet that can be picked up. All these shipping lanes, they've been getting darker and darker over the years. You can see the lighter ones. They're everywhere. This is the global warming. This is the climate change. All these long straight lines. You know, it's not our cars. Yeah, here's the 3.6.7 bad. Look how good they come out when you look at them there. The emissions and the climate change that we're causing, that is already a massive experiment on our world that we don't rely, or they don't really know the outcome. So I don't think we should start another set of experiments and go into geoengineering. Well, it's too late. They're already doing it. Studies have found that ships have a net cooling effect on the planet despite bleaching out nearly 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide each year. That's almost entirely because they also emit sulfur, which can scatter the sunlight in the atmosphere and form or thicken clouds that reflect it away. We're about to kill a massive accidental experiment in reducing global warming. No, they're not. They're going to keep it up. They're going to keep doing this. They're going to keep on with the crazy weather. It's all manufactured weather to push the agenda, to push us into the New World Order. That's what it's all for. You know, cloud brightening. They want to turn the blue sky white. They've said it. There's tons of articles on it. Yeah, they don't have to run these ships on the bunker fuel. I mean, it's on purpose. There was used to be regulations on it, but they eased them because it was helping, what they said, cool the planet, but it's actually trapping everything in. Try to maintain or even enhance the current cooling effect from currently emitting sulfate aerosols in the troposphere at mid to high northern latitudes. For example, the regulation to ban bunker fuel for ships should be relaxed while encouraging continued use of bunker fuel where the resulting aerosol emissions might be beneficial. So right here is what I was talking about, the regulations to ban the bunker fuel. But they won't. They encourage to continue to use it even though it's killing the aquatic life, the sea life, and then it's floating over the United States and making us all sick. See, that's how it works. No chemtrails on the coast, it don't matter because they're dropping way worse out here in the Pacific. Goldman Sachs explains bunker fuel removal cost. You know, problem, reaction, solution. Let's create a problem. Oh, hey, we can fix that. By the way, you're really sick. We didn't do it. You had ship tracks over Lake Superior, November 2017. We just had them the other day. Same area. And what they're finding is on these ship tracks, the lines I just showed you here on the Earth Null, lightning follows these lines. The storms follow these lines when they're not being, you know, steered with the NEXRADs and the ionospheric heaters and the cloud ionizers. So yeah, man, great work over here from Jim Lee. Commuter aircraft fuels doped with aerosol generators. See, there's people like us, man, regular people out here that's already done the research. It's all here, but they want to keep it hid. You know, we'll never have the 1 million subscribers or the 10 million people or anything. They won't let it happen. They can't let it happen because that'll make people come together. So we just got to pick our way and claw and try to get to it. Here, let me show you here on my Facebook page. Check out this flooding over in UAE where the global trading company did their program. They love this stuff. So here's the flooding going on in China. Check that out. It looks like Missouri. It looks like Iran when the global trading company did their program out there where 90% of Iran was underwater from the electromagnetic warfare they were doing. So yeah, crazy stuff. Oh, there, look at this footage right here. A brush fire in Arizona. This guy caught some crazy footage. It created a fire tornado that formed into a water spout and actually started putting the fire out. This thing is just spinning right there, man. This is a weapon. This is not a normal storm. Normal storms don't just sit in one spot and rotate, even from a fire. Oh yeah, and then another shout out there to Dane Wigginton for calling out the brain to serial brain video. You know, it's always good to have people that are looking out to try to get the truth out, man. So anyway, yeah, let me get out of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few maps. If we get time, maybe we'll take a couple calls. So here we go, man. We're going to look at the temperatures here in a little bit. We'll see what's going on. We know the cloud seeding operations are where the rain's going to be. You know, the whole West Coast, they haven't seen very many chemtrails because they're not getting no rain. You know, they spray out ahead of the storms. That's how they cloud seed. They cloud seed ahead of the storms. Then if they're conjuring up like a hurricane or whatever, they'll seed all the way around it. They'll seed the backside. They'll seed the front side. Look, we got severe storms coming in here on Monday. And we're going to definitely be going into a pattern change. So you pretty much, I can show you this right here. This is on Monday, July 22nd. Aerosols will be being deployed all the way in front of this. The whole East Coast will be getting sprayed. It never fails. They control the weather. They control the thermostat. They control the jet stream. And it's all to play the mind games. Let's put this thing on the temperatures. Let's check out the temperatures. Yeah, we're roasting here in Missouri. You know, here's the other thing. And I noticed, my wife and I noticed this today. We went up to the store, or we went up to town to try to get some grout for our tile stuff. And it was 93 at our house. And we live a good 35 minutes from any town. Like, we're out in the woods. Soon as we got to the highway, it was 96. As soon as we got to Clinton, Missouri, it was 101. In the cities, because they make the streets black. Why is everything black? Why do they make the streets black? Why don't they make them white? Why don't they make all the tops of the buildings white? They're causing the heat flumes around every major city by not using the right kind of paints. It's on purpose. You know, it's pretty crazy how they blame it on us, but yet we pay them to fix the roads and the infrastructure, and it all sucks. You know, they knew if they use black concrete and blacktop, it's going to create more heat. It's going to melt. But they do it anyway. So yeah, man, but I couldn't believe it. So 93 degrees at my house, 30 minutes up into the city, you're at 101. So anyway, here I'm just kind of fast forward. Look at the cool down. We're going to have a cool down. Look at that. We're looking at some pretty good low temperatures. So all the extreme heat's going to be over in the west, up in the upper. You know, you're looking still in the 80s, low 90s. But yeah, this is going to be a big pattern change, and that's why we're seeing the bunker fuel operations out there. And yeah, we're going to see now, once the Sahara dust quits being shipped over here to us, we're going to see the hurricanes start to develop. We'll see what kind of stuff they conjure up this year. And maybe not, man. It depends on what they're doing with the jet stream. It all is revolving around the jet stream. So it looks like, yeah, we're still going to get some really, really hot stuff here at the beginning of August, but that's expected. You're looking at 109 in Oklahoma and Kansas. But I mean, we'll get into the 16-day forecast tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to have a nice little cool down. It's going to last. It seems like these weather pattern changes, they try to keep them around 2 weeks, unless you're trying to do a mega flood, and it's like 2 months. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right above me there, Vessel. I'm straight down 13. Yeah, I go through Warrensburg all the time. In fact, I go to the Lowe's in Warrensburg. It's 45-minute drive, 45 minutes to an hour drive for me, but that's the closest one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the worldview map. What are we looking at here? We're looking at a bunch of X's and different things going on here in the sky. Look at these big fat lighters. Where are we at? Oh, we're right off the coast of Washington and Oregon. You know, they're mixing it in with the bunker fuel. Now, I had all this loaded. There's no reason this should not be loaded all the way up. Man. Yep, I had this whole damn thing preloaded. And now it's like not loaded at all. This is BS. I get so tired of these guys messing with my stuff. So yeah, big spraying operation out here. See, they're doing the 2-part mix. This is the 2-part mix to mix with the bunker fuels. Let's back it out. Let me just see if I can see where the bunker fuel operations are. They were right down here. There was 2 down here in the Bajas. They're not really showing up on this map. Oh, I see a bunch over here. We got some liners out here. We'll put on the layer. Let's go ahead and put the layer on. So yeah, we definitely have the lines right here, the lines that are expanding out. That's some bunker fuel. Got one here, got some up here, bunch of them up the coast of Russia, up there near Kamchatka. Still, you got plenty right here in the center. I think we're right underneath. Yeah, we're right underneath the Bering Islands up here. The Bering Strait. Oh, we do have some right here. They're just not coming in real good. Yeah, there they are. Now I can see them. There they are. They're right in there. So where are we at here? We are straight off the coast of Northern California. And are they down here? Oh, yes. They got some monster ship tracks in the southern Bajas. So you got big, long, all these real big, fat yellow lines right here. That's the bunker fuel. You got, they're doing like U shapes up here. Big, long runs, grid patterns. We'll take that off. See, they're hard to spot unless you know how to spot them. This is all a bunker fuel line. See, we know how to get through and look at these. We have aerosols being deployed here off the coast of Mexico. So they're setting something up for the Gulf of Mexico. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Yep. Europe does the same way, man. They cloud seed. Normally it's 2 days before the rain. Normally you get pummeled 2 days before the rain, all the way up into the day of the rain, and even while it's raining. But a general rule, if you're wanting to just try to test this theory, you'll see the heavy spraying operations 2 days. I mean, it's like exactly 2 days before every storm. Like we could go up here, like we got mega cloud seeding up on these storms up over the north. These storms have been guided up here for several weeks. I mean, we called it, we've been watching it. And why is this not loading again? Man, I had all this stuff loaded. Because when you change the different layers here, it took pictures at different times, and you can actually see when the spraying operation started, and you can see them in action progress. No, if you missed out, the next day, the hurricane video that we forecasted the hurricane to hit Florida, You had to watch the next night's broadcast. They deleted it. Nothing changed on the maps. I did our next night we did the live show, and I went back and showed how they deleted the data. They just deleted just the hurricane. All the rain and everything else stayed the same. The pressures all stayed the same, but they completely deleted the hurricane. Just took it off the map like it never was there, and we caught them. They did it overnight. I've only seen that one other time, but yeah, man, they do that stuff. So that's why sometimes if we call it out and we get the warning out, we can actually make them delete the hurricanes. That's what they did. Yeah, it was definitely bizarre, man. That's why sometimes I think we make a difference. I think sometimes I know I know the mainstream watches this, because it's funny, because usually if I use some new term, then they steal it like a day or two later or the next day. It's happened, like 10 times. So they're definitely monitoring. They know we're starting to kick their butt. So yeah, you just got heavy aerosols all over this storm. We'll see it much better in the Ghost 17. I can't believe this thing ain't loaded. Wow, what is going on, man? It gets ridiculous, man. I get this stuff ready each night just for them to stiff us. I mean, the stream is running a lot better. So let's go up here into the Northeast. You know who's getting really bombarded? Philadelphia, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. And if I get these layers to load, you're going to see. I mean, you had a big fat, like a smoke curtain being dropped over New York. Yeah, all this stuff was loaded. I don't know why we're having to reload this. Because I like showing the progression. But like I said, we'll just jump on over to the Ghost 17 in a minute. So all this is synthetic cloud seeding operations up here in the Gulf of Maine. Maine, you're going to be getting sprayed probably right now. You're probably being sprayed right now. If Radical Ralph is out there, he's probably getting sprayed. So yeah, definitely. Hey, Richie out there, much love out there. We get a lot of slack, man, when we, if people don't like other people's channel, too bad, man. We don't have to agree. That's a perfect example of, people not opening their minds. We don't have to all believe the same thing, but we all need to stand behind the air we breathe. We need to fight that together. And, I was pretty amazed at all the thumbs down we got. I knew they were coming. But hey, that's, we're going to take punches. We're going to give punches. But you have to get past the division. I've known Richie for a long time, man. We've talked for off and on. I mean, I talk to tons of people out there. People out there that call other people's shield channels and all that. That's all BS. At least you can reach out to some of the guys out here and they'll answer you. They don't keep hid. And when they see something that's bad, then we're going to jump on it, man. We're going to jump on it. We have to stop it because it's trying to completely deceive what's really going on. Anyway, guys, let's jump over to the Ghost 16 real quick. Man, I am burning up right now. Now you're going to see the aerosols being deployed. Let me kind of highlight all this a little better. Look at this cloud seeding operations and the weather generators going off in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. Here's all the bunker fuel, all this smoke looking stuff up here that's going to show up here over Oregon, Washington, Idaho. Here, the bunker fuel is going to be coming in. Just watch up here. The bunker fuel's drifting in, drifting in. Oh, you got a mega cloud seeding operation up there. But yeah, there's all the bunker fuel, the low level bunker fuel, aerosols and bunker fuel being deployed in these freak storms. And we can zoom in on this stuff, man. Look at this, is all fake synthetic clouds. So it's really showing up down here in the southern states. Here, let's jump down here and take a quick look. So to say there's no spraying operations going on, bullshit, all lies. And we'll prove it. We'll prove it every night, man. And it's too bad. Look at that spraying operation over Georgia. Hold on, let me slow this down. All right, guys, so I guarantee there's a power plant right here, and they're pumping out. Here, let me show you what they're pumping out here. Check this out. This will blow your mind. So what I just showed you there, all them, that's what these are right here. Check this out. Now when I turn this up, you see these are emanating them, but look at all the cloud seeding operations to the north, to the east, and the storms are running backwards, man. They're running backwards. I guarantee if you live down here, you know the storms don't run that way. Look, and they're cloud seeding the way they want the storms to go. It happens every time. They're spraying now in Texas, Arkansas, because they're pulling this moisture that way. They've got the nanobots in there. They got the nanoparticulates in there. Now they can steer it with the electromagnetics. They can steer it with radio frequencies. Look at that big X there over Texas. Let's jump up to the freak storm up here. Let's go take a look at Washington, or Detroit, Michigan, Wyoming, man, I'm all messed up. Wisconsin. Whoa, them storms don't even look normal. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably back out a little bit, but you can see the aerosols being deployed right in the back side of that. Yeah, I'm a little bit too close. I need to hit the edge to get the aerosols. Let's try going over towards New York. Yeah, she Never Lose Truth does great work too. I just don't get time to watch a lot of other people's videos, man. Like, I work a full-time job, then I come home, I have to deal with farm animals, I have to finish building my house because I'm right in the smack in the middle of a build with very little money, and I'm the contractor. There's nobody helping my wife and I. We've built the whole house by ourselves. Most of the wood has been out of used wood, scrap wood, jobs I tore down years ago, windows I've had for like 20 years that I've been saving for this particular time. And that's why it pisses me off, because I'd like to be able to get my house built before they destroy everything. You know, that was my main goal, is to build a house and have some land, you know, like most people. And then what happens? As soon as I sold everything I had to buy the property, magically, you know, and I was making videos on weather warfare, magically, as soon as I sold everything I had, we bought the property, staying in an RV. We get slammed with a mega hailstorm, a freak hailstorm. Then 1 week or 2 weeks later, suddenly I have prostate cancer. That's supposed to be a slow growing cancer, but I went from having no cancer to full-fledged cancer. Had to have a major operation. So here we are on a property of land with no house, destroyed RV, and I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't move for like 6 months. I missed tons of work. And you notice I didn't make any videos. I might have made a couple here and there, but I did not never come on. I never did come on and ask for money or nothing. You know, I dealt with it, and I'm still dealing with it. So you get targeted. You get targeted when you tell the truth, but we keep fighting back. They tried to take me out, but it didn't work. When it's my time to go, it'll be my time to go, but it's not going to be on their dime. Or at least if it is, man, I'm going to go out, you know, not easy. What do we got flying through here? I'm like looking at this. It looks like you may have military chaff, low-flying military chaff being deployed underneath. Let's go ahead and go check the bunker fuel operations. I'm gonna have to go over to the west. Yeah, and that's, yeah, one thing, you know, cell phones and all that probably could give you cancer. I think they injected it to me, because this is crazy what happened to me. I went to the doctor for my normal 6-month, you know, my 6-month checkup thing for work and all that. And I felt really good, man. I just sold all my house, sold my vet, sold everything I had that I'd saved up for, you know, 20 years to buy this property and stuff. And I went for this normal doctor visit. You know, they always take the blood pressure. Look at all that bunker fuel right there. They take the blood pressure, and all of a sudden this lady doctor or lady comes in, and I'm thinking it's the lady that's going to give me the blood pressure thing, because I was sitting right there. You know, they told me, yeah, there's some right there. They told me to go over here, sit down over here, right where you take your blood pressure. And the next thing I know, she jazzed me in the arm, and she goes, tetanus booster, and then stomps out real fast. I'm like, what the F just happened? I don't take shots. So I was forcibly injected, and then 2 days later I get a call saying, hey, you need to go to a urologist. Now most guys, I was like 49. This stuff isn't supposed to hit guys till they're like 60. It's the leading cause of death in men is prostate cancer. Now I went, and I'm like, what the hell? And I went and had, you know, got some tests done. Guys should have, you know, between a 0 and a 4 in your PSA. Mine was a 28. That's right, 28. So I went from being perfectly healthy to somehow having instant cancer, and if I didn't have an operation or a chemotherapy, I was going to die within the year. That's what the doctors told me. I've never been back since the operation. I'm still alive. You know. So anyway, that's what happened. And there's some more strange stuff that goes along with that. I mean, I'm talking really strange stuff. I've talked about it in a video where I was attacked by an evil entity on the way home. You know, at the time when they injected me, I didn't think nothing about it. I didn't know who the nurse was. I mean, I've been going there for, you know, 20 years. Never have seen her since. I think she was some kind of government. Whoa, what do we got going right here? Wow. Okay, you see this big half radius line, and I hope you guys can see this. Now there's another half radius line that comes off of it, and it blows in. Now that is something strange right there. Hopefully when this video processes, you can see that ship tracks down there. Definitely in the Bajas. Look at all of them down there, man. Let me try to zoom in on that if it'll let me. I don't know if I can. Yeah, let's go down here. This could be pretty insane. That injection was like, I had my operation in 2017, so it was about 3 months before that. Now, I believe me, I fought the cancer naturally for a few months, and I brought it down from a 28 to a 25, doing all the, there, look at all them ship tracks, doing all the natural cures. But I mean, it was, my whole prostate was full of it, so I had to have it cut out. Almost all my prostate was cut out. And man, I tell you what, they cut me up. I have scar, like I had a couple people come out and visit me. My old co-host, Cannons, if you guys remember him from my old live show. He come out and visit me. I had Pad out there come out, him and his wife come out and visit me, and man, I was in bad shape. I had holes all over me. Like, man, I was deformed from the operation. Radial, I can't even remember what they called it, but it was done by a robot. I also think they implanted something behind my ear. I got a little bitty weird thing in there, like the size of rice, so. Yeah, pretty insane, man. Insane stuff. So, all that money I had, you know, for the house, I had to pay $2,000 up front to have the operation, or they wouldn't do it. But then they told me, you know, they didn't tell me I had to pay $2,000 to the hospital, $2,000 to the urologist. But luckily, my company that I've worked for 20 years gave me the $2,000 to get everything going. So they took care of me there. Massive ship operation out here in the Baja still. So wow. But anyway, guys, we're going to call this a show. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll do the 16-day forecast tomorrow. So don't miss that, because that's where you're going to get all the vital heads up ahead of time. You're going to find out about these chemtrails and ship tracks. But yeah. Anyway, guys, much love out there. I don't go to the doctors no more, man. I do my own self-healing, and I know I have a Holy Spirit that helps me and guides me. He's keeping me around for what we're doing right now. Anyway, guys, much love. Let's rise. We're going to rise soon. We're going to figure this all out. But the main thing right now is to get the people off the mainstream media. Get them to quit shopping at the Walmarts. Buy from your local farmers. Something I thought about today. If they hit us with the EMP, you know, I don't have sponsors. I don't have the Patreon or nothing like that. One thing you guys should have, everybody should have, and I use these for my band. Back when I had my band, we'd always blow fuses out. Go get you some. I had my PSA tested 5 times from different companies. I got second opinions, third opinions. Yeah, I went through all that stuff. I've done all that. So I'm done with all that stuff anyway now. Now I lost my train. Oh, go out and get you guys the wind-up flashlights. You know, you don't need to buy all these weird flashlights that all these survival places are selling, the solar flashlights and stuff, man. Get you a wind-up flashlights, man. I use them for my band, man. We constantly blew fuses. I keep them tied up to my PA. You wind it a couple times, you got light, man. They last for a long time. They never go dead. They never need a battery. They don't need solar. They don't need nothing. They're little wind up. In fact, I bought 2 today. on sale, and they were American Cross. I don't have them up here, so I can't look at them. Maybe we'll give one of them away here soon, and I'll do a little video on what they are. I'll show you the ones I use for my band equipment, because man, you buy them once, they're not that much. I think I paid $14 for these, so I'll do a little video on one of them. But yeah, you just wind it up. It's ran on magnetics, you know, like old time technology. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Let's rise. Let's hit the songs. I'll come join you in chat. I'll come give away the treasure chest over on DLIVE. And here we go. Much love, guys. Be safe out there. Armor up. That's what we got to do. Armor up. And get some armor. Both. Anyway, much love. Here we go.